There was one image I saw where it was like just posted yesterday. It's like, yo, just like says like, oh, get ready for it. And there's just a guy who's like, oh, it's coming. Or it's like, yo, it's tornado coming at him, and it's just like loaded with like, yo, just texts of like, yo, just random people being like, oh, I have Corona, April Fools.
Oh man, I haven't been on 4chan. I don't usually go on there very often, but I think they're doing a stupid Corona joke April Fool's thing. I don't know. Well, let's go here real quick. Let's see what's happening.
Let's go over Corona. Cause like we could talk about Corona if we really want to.
No, everybody else is talking about Corona. Okay, yeah, I think certain posts are contaminated.
just don't touch your face after using the internet, guys.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just gonna say, wash your hands. Don't touch people. Like I think you're supposed to stay 6 feet away from everybody.
Yeah, social distance. Like don't touch your face. Don't go outside. Do not go outside. Why are you going outside?
Okay, so that's not completely accurate. You can go outside, but don't embrace people or interact with them. Like if it was warmer, I'd probably go for a walk today, and that's fine because I'm not gonna go near anybody or talk to them or whatever.
Yeah. There's a video that like Dan Olson put out recently where it's like, it was like just kind of talking about the movie Contagion, which is like a film that was released like way back, where it's like, about like, oh, this pig gets infected and then it like, causes this new virus to spread. And it's about how it's like spreading through the population and like everyone just has to like kind of deal with it. And it's portrayed in like a very weirdly realistic way that's like super accurate to what's happening right now. And it's just like, puts us video, I'm just like, okay, yeah, April Fool's, and it's like, oh, this is made like 5 days ago. Oh no, and it's like just this depressingly real talk about like how our society's falling apart and stuff, and about how we're just like not equipped to deal with any of this.
Alright, time to get off 4chan.
Okay. Just look up those hard Corona memes.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it. I believe it.
It looks like some people are infected and they can spread the infection, and people are doing weird stuff with that idea.
Yeah, just sort of
I'll just leave it at that.
Man. Like, I don't think you would have, but it's like, have you heard about like what Roderick's doing?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's like a streamer I follow, and he's like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's put up like an 8-hour Okami stream. And it's just like effing, just feeding the bird on loop.
Nah.
He's just got his little like, like little stuffed dragon in the corner is like the face cam. He's like, throw out some like remarks and stuff every now and then. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like we've like broken like the golden rule of like April Fools, which is like not to mention it.
I think I've shared my opinions of April Fools on stream, so
yeah. So yeah, crap. I should have like added some stuff. Like I should have like thrown something together, I should have like been more prepared for this.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm more prepared than I need to be, at least. So yeah, let's talk Angela Anaconda the movie starring Angela Anaconda.
Oh boy, my favorite.
It's like, what's your prior knowledge of like Angela Anaconda, like right off the bat?
I know that it's a thing that exists that I thought looked awful as a kid, so I never watched it.
Well, I did watch it, and it
I
does look
know.
effing awful.
Yeah, you watched like you watched the actual series, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched up to like was it was like I watched up to the episode where it's like they have the garbage truck. And like, alright, so far the show's just like, Angela like finds a thing or whatever, and she's like, oh hey, this is cool, yeah, I'm doing it. And like Nanette's just like, oh hey, like don't do that. And she like ruins everything for everyone. And Angela Cav like gets back at her in some like very minor way after some like very petty revenge fantasies. And then it's just like, yeah, that's the episode. We did it, guys. We got our revenge. And if that sounds awful, it is.
Well, that doesn't really sell why it's awful. Anybody like if you have the fortune to not have grown up and known what Angela Anaconda is, just do like a Google search in images. I think you'll see what's wrong with Angela Anaconda.
Yeah. Like, did you see? Well, I guess you probably will have. I should stop believing my senses like that, because the answer's obviously gonna be no for this.
I have never watched Angela Anaconda. I've only seen the beginning of the Digimon movie thing.
Man, that's actually like a weirdly good encapsulation of the show, because it's just like, oh yeah, they walk into a movie theater, and it's like, oh hey, Nanette just like blocked your view of the film. And they're just like have this big revenge fantasy about like, oh well, if I beat her up as like a superhero, and like this random minor stupid thing from earlier just comes back for the fantasy that makes no difference at all.
What
And
if
it's
I turn
just
what if I turn into a monster and kill my teacher?
yeah, that happens like a surprising well, I don't say kill, but like yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, she's just like, oh hey, we're in the wrong theater, and she gets like a very slight, like, just head start in finding new seats. And that's the skit. We sure showed that Nanette by like getting a slightly better seat than she did, I assume.
Yeah. But oh no. I'm assuming Nanette's the blonde.
Yeah, the blonde who's like her like most of the time she doesn't even really do anything that bad. She's just a French suck up, and that's apparently the biggest crime in the world.
Yeah, I mean, all I saw is Angela waited outside. What was it, 7 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Movie? Which, boy, it's not worth a 7 hour wait. But anyways,
it really isn't.
Nanette shows up and she's like, "Hey, I've got fast pass tickets. Me and my friends are gonna get in." Which, yeah, she didn't really do anything. She was just smart.
Yeah.
And she mocks Angela for being an idiot.
Yeah. That's basically how the show just goes straight up. Like, I don't know if you were paying attention to the background, but there's like all kinds of weird little characters in the movie theater that all have like, yeah.
I was trying to pay attention to certain things. I don't know. Like I said before we started, I didn't really feel like there was much to work with.
So I felt like I should mention that it's like the big selling point of Angela Anaconda is this revolutionary new face mapping technology where they took like pictures of actual people's like faces and like mouths and stuff, and they're basically just like, like adding them together to like make the frames of like their expressions in like the show, and everything else just looks like the cheapest animated crap ever. Like, even the face stuff looks horrible. Like, holy crap, does it look bad?
It's really ugly.
So,
I mean, we're working with like early CG or whatever.
yeah.
It's not really CG, but I don't know.
Yeah, they literally, like, got a girl into the studio, like, just a child, and, like, photographed her face, and her making, like, all the mouth, like, sounds for words and, like, expressions and stuff. And they just, like, slap it together on, like, a 2D model. It's just, like, that's just floating around, you know, on this weird, like, stick body. Yeah, like, Angela has, like, a baby brother, and it looks terrifying. It's the, like, holy shit, it's the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. It looks so uncanny. Like, there's an episode where it's, like, she fantasizes about how her baby brother's gonna, like, grow up and become just like her. And it's, like, this baby face on, like, this, like, you know, friggin' kid's, like, animated body with, like, Angela's hair and stuff. And it's just, like, it's talking in this weird, like, high-pitched voice, and it's, like, it's so horrible. It's the most, like, why would you do this crap ever? Like, did you notice in, like, Fear of the Sketch, there's just, like, this weird kid with, like, this big turban on?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, that's canon. That's from an episode where it's like Angela's just going about her day, and like an effing like Middle Eastern prince just like comes by the school for like the day. And he's just like, oh hey, you know, he's just walking around with this like, you know, just giant like effing like butler and stuff. He's like, hey yo, I really want to fuck Nanette.
Okay.
He's just like, yeah, I want to like marry Nanette and bring her back to my country to like be my queen. And Angela gets like weirdly jealous or whatever. And she's like, alright, screw that guy. And he's like being kind of a dick, so she like just yells at him and kind of like fights back a bit. And he's like, oh, Angela's feisty, she must be my queen now. And she has this big fantasy about like the ups and downs of being like just a Middle Eastern princess. And it is handled with like about as much tact as you'd expect from like something coming out of the 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, had we hit 2001 at this point? I didn't.
Not yet. So. No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not yet.
So still at the point where, this is funny.
Yeah, still at the point where it's like all we know are like head dressings and like camels
making funny noises.
Yeah. It's like, oh hey, look at those funny head things, aren't they cute? And it's like, oh, terrorism, of course.
Then everything changed when the Middle East attacked.
Oh god. Is that like one of those terrific jokes we've made? Yeah, we've probably done worse.
You mean terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know if we're just like terrible in like general, then yeah, I've done worse than that.
You said terrific. I don't think that's the word you
Sorry,
were
I said
for.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, crap.
It's fine. I got what you meant.
Yeah. Gee, like every episode of this epic show is the most like nothing crap ever. Well, it's like there's kind of like it's like the episode where it's like, you know, Angela's like has to rap poem or something, and she like writes it about her dog, and the teacher somehow thinks she's talking about her because this show is kind of dumb.
Kind of dumb, he says.
Kind of dumb. And like, yo, effing Nanette like kind of figures out and like calls her out on it, and yo, like just exposes Angela as like an effing like, yeah, she like spreads the rumor that's like, oh, you wrote the poem out your teacher like kiss up or whatever, and she like realizes it's about her dog, and she like calls her out, and the teacher gets offended for like being an idiot basically. And like Angela has to go outside and like clap erasers, which is like a thing they just do all the time, is like her punishment, I guess, for some reason. Just
I feel like I've seen that as a punishment in other things.
yeah, it's just clap erasers, whatever. It's fine. That's
Yeah.
your punishment.
Well, I think it's like to clean them.
Yeah, to like clean the chalk off or something.
The kids in school now deal with blackboards.
Not really.
I feel like everybody uses whiteboards now.
Yeah, because why'd you use like traditional chalk? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Chalk is the worst.
God, does anybody listening know what a blackboard is?
There's probably someone out there who understands. Just, there's a reason, like, that, like, the sound of nails on chalkboard is, like, the most, like, infamously terrible thing ever. And when you're, like, just rhying with chalk, it sounds pretty rough, too, honestly, I think. Because it's, like, it's just, like, the tapping noise, and it's just, like, it's just not pleasant.
Yeah.
Man, she claps the eraser, and she has like this big revenge fantasy about how she's like gonna out like perform Nanette and get back at her and stuff, and she's like rhyming and crap. And Nanette just sort of walks by, and she like gets one white handprint on her, as she's like covered from like head to toe in chalk, and she's like, "Heh, nailed it! That's such a good revenge right there." And that's just the episode. Like that's all that happens.
I want to say it's not really related to what we're talking about at all, but apparently Digimon Tamers aired on April 1st, so it's the 19th anniversary of Digimon Tamers.
The best April Fool's joke. The type that like starts out crazy and it just keeps going and is just amazing all the way through.
Yeah, it's Guillemon's 19th birthday.
Oh, awesome. Wow, Guillemon can drink now.
Because remember, Guillemon was, like, in canon, legit created on the first episode, which would be today.
Guillemon was literally created as, like, an April Fool's joke.
And now he's I think he's, like, my favorite of the starter Digimon.
Yeah, isn't Guillemon just everyone's favorite, really? Like, it's just such a good Digimon, you know?
He's voiced by Steve Bloom in America, and the voice actress who does Goku in Japan.
Huh. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Masako Nozawa, I think?
Huh.
Let me look it up.
So like,
because I realized that Masako X of Team 4-Star, I didn't realize he's named after the Japanese voice actress of Goku.
Oh, really? That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah, he's Masako X.
Yeah.
Or at least I assume that was his intention, or it's just a really crazy coincidence.
Did I ever mention that apparently Angela is the biggest of the gays?
Is she really?
Because there's a video I found where it's like, oh, Angela's like, it was weirdly progressive, wasn't it? Because, like, Angela and Nanette are, like, rivals who like each other, and they are the gays.
I had no idea.
And you, like, watch the show, and it's like, okay, this is the most bullcrap thing ever. What the heck are you on about?
Because as far as I knew, they hated each other.
Yeah, of course they do. But shipping, though.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's just a clip where it's like, oh, hey, they fall into, like, the dog bath together and don't seem like they're in any hurry to get out. And you watch the episode, and it's like, well, no, it's because they had to, like, wait a second for, like, the scene transition. That's literally the point. And it's like, it becomes increasingly obvious that both of them just have a crush on, like, the Italian Ken class for some reason. And, like, that's why they hate each other. Angela Anaconda was the original love triangle.
Original. There's
Original.
No. This is others. No.
There's nothing original about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's all about that effing Johnny Abami or whatever the heck his name is. Because they always say his, like, first and last name for some reason. Who's just the Italian kid. And it's just presented in those, like, just, like, straightforward, like, stereotypical. Like, his family owns a pizza place. And it's implied his brother has connections to the mob. And it's like, they go about like, oh, we have to feud with your pizza parlor. Oh, come on, Johnny, show me what you got.
It's Johnny, a piece of pizza pasta.
Come on, we have to come up with ideas to throw the pizza's business under. It's literally that.
Is that the blue-haired kid? Oh wait, he's only blue hair in Angela's fantasy, probably.
No, he really has blue hair.
Oh, okay.
It's a darker shade, but yeah, it's weird.
Because Angela's supposed to look like Ty, and her fat friend is supposed to look like I couldn't actually tell. And then the kid's supposed to look like Joe, I guess. I thought it was Henry at first. I thought he was supposed to look like Henry at first, but then I was like, wait a minute.
Are they even supposed to look like anyone?
But yeah, because Angela has the big stupid tie hair and the goggles.
Like, alright, that I get. I don't get the R2. Like, those never really landed. Because I'm like, wait, what? Alright.
I don't know. Maybe they're not. I thought, because the kid has blue hair, and I thought that was directly referencing, like, Joe or something. I don't know.
I love that in the short that, like, apparently Angela's, like, idea of what Digimon is like, effing Ultraman.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's something I caught, is like, I don't think the writers of this bit know what Digimon is.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna grow real big to fight the giant robot that's attacking the city. And it's like, And
they don't even follow, like, the Digimon naming convention for anything, except for Angelamon.
Jeez. What are the orchids' names? I actually forgot. It was like something like...
I don't know. I just know that that her fat friend keeps going back to the concession stand for free refills, which is not a thing.
Yeah, it's so not a thing. You are stupid if you think it is. Movie theaters do not act that generously at all.
Yeah. Is it a French thing?
What?
I thought Angela Anaconda was like a French show or something.
No. No.
Okay,
Like,
well, I don't know then.
Ninette's French, apparently, or at least she kind of is. She's probably not, but she puts on the airs.
Yeah.
It's like her mom's like a weird white trash, like, rich person. It's very odd. I don't think the people who made the show know what they were doing. There's like effing Angela, there's like Johnny, there's like effing Gina, the fat kid whose thing is she's fat.
Oh, it's Canadian.
Okay, yeah, that actually explains a bit.
So it's kind of French.
God, that makes things like even weirder because Angela's constantly like, oh, like screw off, you fake French girl. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently in Canada, so that brings something into question. Is like they're fighting over seats or whatever. From what I've heard, and this is just from one group of people, it's Pat and Wooly. From what I understand, you get assigned seats in Canadian movie theaters.
Yeah.
But in the Angela Anaconda thing, we see Angela fighting over a seat.
And I should like ask my dad or something sometime. He's like up in Quebec or something.
Oh, okay.
Like he might know.
Yeah.
Or I could just Google it. Yeah, that'd probably be easier, actually.
I have no reason to not believe Pat and Wooly because they said, like, they were surprised to learn that we don't have assigned seats in America.
Yeah, you just order your tickets in advance, I guess.
You order your tickets and you walk into the theater and you sit down wherever you please.
Yeah. Yeah, yours is just like, yeah, oh, you just go in there. It's like, if you get the thing, you do. If not, then whatever.
Maybe there's certain movie theaters down here that have assigned seats, but not
Really?
here.
Like, I remember it was like one time, I was like, I thought it was like for Avengers, like Infinity War or something. But it's like I managed to like go see that movie while like it was just the middle of the day on like a weekday. So we just walk in, it's just like, oh hey, there's like literally nobody here. And it's like, oh, this is awesome. This is the best. And we're about like 50 people. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, well, we live in a relatively smaller like town.
Yeah.
So, like, even for big, huge movie releases, it's not too crazy to get into a theater of a new thing and actually get a good seat.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of how to transition this. I guess there is no answer, so screw it. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned somewhere it's just like a random episode where it's like, oh, Angela meets an astronaut. And then it's like, they go to like the space, like, astronaut area or whatever, like the effing planetarium or some crap. And it's just like their tour guide is the most like effing racist, like Chinese friggin' like caricature ever.
I feel like you've told me this before.
Yeah, because it was
stream.
Yeah, it was one of the first few episodes I watched. I just looked at it. I'm just like, oh my god, are they really doing this? And they really did. It's literally like squinty eyes, like giant glasses, like buck teeth, just effing like just screaming constantly. Just shouting orders like super angrily. There's just, as soon as they like take him to the back room, there's like, okay, I on break now, and they just leave the kids. It's like, holy shit. Like, they really went far on this, didn't they? Jeez. It's like they had the big fantasy where it's like, oh yeah, she's just there, like, yelling at people in space or whatever. And it's like, alright. What the crap even is this show? Like, I still don't, like, I know it is. Why did this even? That's the bigger question. Why did they push this?
I don't know. The kids, well, I mean, I can answer the question of did kids want to see this? And I think the answer is no, because I was at the age demographic. I didn't want to see it. I never watched it.
Well, we didn't, because we're smart. This crap got 3 seasons.
Oh my god, what?
It's so much more than I expected.
Maybe it tested well with really young viewers because all they would care about is having something loud and obnoxious to keep their attention.
So apparently Angela's teacher and her husband are like nudists.
No.
Yes.
Ugh, that's awful. That's awful.
It's like, it's just offhandedly like mentioned one episode. It's like, yeah, it's either they're nudists or they got caught like fucking once. Cause like Angela's dad is like, oh hey, it's like, yeah, that's your teacher's husband. Oh, it's a wonder to see him with his clothes on for once. And she's like, excuse me, and there's like, oh, they're naturalists. And it's like, what? Pardon? And like her fantasy is like, oh, we're ice skating, and you just look over, there's like, naked just flipping over the card.
Oh my god.
Like there are episodes where it's like they're just hanging out in the treehouse, and Angela's like, oh hey, like, Mrs. Briggs is probably like, doing her naturals at the pool. We will like spy on them. Oh,
no.
And they're trying to like spy over the fence. And it's like, that's the conflict of the episode. It's like, oh, we can't do this other thing because we want to, like, spy on our teacher naked. Like, what age demographic is this show even for at this point?
Whoa.
Whoa?
There's a thing on Twitch that I don't think is an April Fool's joke, and it's called Mod View, where I can. I think I just have a dashboard where I can click on, like, instead of having to know all the different commands to, like, ban and remove people from chat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just here on a dashboard.
Yeah, that was a thing before.
Okay.
Yeah, that's real.
I was skeptical clicking on it because I was like, is this Twitch's April Fool's joke? Is it gonna play a haha? Like,
is it gonna play All-Star?
Never gonna give you up.
Are we going to get trolled? Is the Digimon movie gonna troll us?
Dang, I can block terms. Okay, this
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I can put it into subscriber only chat. I can do it emotes only chat, followers only, slow mode, block terms, permitted terms. I have a lot of power here. It looks like.
Is it too much power?
Nah. No, because I'm not gonna abuse it.
Can we find, like, one thing we both agree on as, like, the worst thing ever and block that thing from being mentioned in the chat? Can we block Fortnite?
We can block the word Fortnite.
We can keep anyone from ever saying Fortnite ever again.
I'm not sure if it would censor the word Fortnite or just kill the message entirely.
And, well, it's worth a try.
I don't know. Some people like it. I think it's awful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
nothing against people who like it, but it's like, I feel like more than one person has asked me to play Fortnite. Every time I'm just like, no, I don't care about it.
I wonder if I can... No, it'd have to be in the form of a command. Like a thing where if it detects the word Fortnite, an automated message pops up and says, Dethhollow will not play Fortnite.
Oh, that'd be a good... Like, that'd be good, actually.
Yeah, anyways, I know we're screwing around a lot because, haha, funny. But this is going on like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I feel like I've touched on pretty much everything. Like, okay. there is, like, a sketch, like, effing, like, just imagination revenge fantasy where, like, oh, Nanette's gonna be, like, in by crocodiles. And, like, you know, the teacher's gonna be, like, into, and they, like, save the teacher for, like, the sake of those poor crocodiles. And it's, like, literally just fantasizing about, like, oh yeah, what if Nanette was just, like, in the Amazon and she just died?
Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be amazing if she just, you know, just, like, let the crocodiles get her, it's fine. And, like, you see... No, I think they do save Nanette, too, and then you, like, see the Campbells, and they're all, like, the baby brother, and it's the, like, weirdest, just dumbest looking thing ever. Because, like, a bunch of, like, baby heads, like, just gathered around, like, friggin', like, Nanette just boiling in a pot or something.
Amazing.
Like, is there, like, literally anything else other than Jai's brother being in the mob?
I don't know.
Like, he's specifically like, Jai's just like, hey, I wanna, like, hit on the girls, and his brother's like, okay, you got it. Yeah, you gotta, like, dress sparkly so they can find you in the dark. It's like, oh, jeez. Seriously? He just dresses in the most, like, disco suit ever, and it kinda works. Like, is there anywhere else you can, like, go with that? Is there, like, anything I'm missing?
No.
Oh yeah, also Gordy is not gay, he clearly loves Gina. Yeah, there's, like, little Asmec, like, you know, just frail, nerdy, like, you know, he's like a Femi boy. he's like not athletic at all and stuff like that. And he's just like, oh man, I sure love Gina and stuff. And he's like, he's like, oh, I love your brain. So that's weird. Well, I guess it's not weird, but it's like, it's odd, I guess. It's like a connection I didn't expect would happen. You know what? Yeah, I think there's one last thing I do want to bring up. And is that there's just randomly an episode where Angela's trapped in the boys' bathroom. No, she's like trapped in there, you see. She's stuck. There's no escape. Cause she wonder what was in there. And it's like, oh, I can't leave because someone will see me, so I'm trapped.
You can just leave.
Yeah, you can just leave and just be like, oh yeah, someone just see what's in there. It's like, no, but like, kids, I can't escape. She's like, oh, I'm gonna starve to death in here. And eventually she like tries to climb out the window and like the teacher is just there. And she like, kind of goes inside, just drags her out by force. And it's just the worst case scenario ever. And it's like, okay, yeah, she's like, oh, thank goodness, I'm not trapped anymore. Man, I thought I was going to die in there. And that's the episode. Also, apparently their teacher doesn't know what the fuck a urinal is. Yeah, that's weird.
Alright.
Alright. Yeah, I think that's about everything of note in this show. And, like, I feel like that's more than I expected, but less than I was hoping for when I watched something like 12 episodes or some crap. Like, I really, like, went to town on this, you know? I stuck my neck out for you people.
So in short, don't watch Angela Anaconda. It's garbage.
Yeah, bad show looks bad. Alright, I guess we'll call it a night. Yeah, we actually probably should talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. If you made it this far, your patience will be rewarded. In Angela Anaconda facts. Oh yeah, also Digimon is a thing.
Yeah, so, I wanted to watch the sub, but because of extenuating circumstances, I could not.
Yeah.
So I just went with the dub.
I wanted to watch the sub, and then I found it. And then I was like, oh, there's like 3 different things. And like one of them's not even like a movie. And it's like, oh, alright.
Yeah, it's just like an episode, right? The first one.
Yeah. So essentially, like, what Digimon the movie is that there's like 3 different, like, whereas like 2 films and like a special episode. And it's like, oh, it's like the prequel for like, like how the kids all like, saw their first Digimon stuff that's like mentioned in the show. And there's like the film about like, just this self-contained incident where like, we have to stop Diaboromon stuff. And the third one's like, just an O2 full-on movie. And it's about, like, Willis and all that stuff. And, like, the dub just sort of was like, okay, we have 3 things, none of them are, like, feature-length time. Let's just, like, copy and stitch this crap together, and then, like, edit lines and dialogue and, like, text to try and, like, just, like, Frankenstein some continuous narrative here about how it's like
together.
Yeah, just smash it together and try to like make just some attempt at like making a coherent plot out of this. So that's basically what, like, I'm gonna like be talking about these in like terms of like stories, right? Because it's like, oh, you have the first story, the second story, the third story.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in order.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the smart way to do this.
Yeah. So, Digimon, I think it's just called Digimon Adventure.
Yeah, it's called Digimon Adventure in the series Digimon Adventure.
You know what? Maybe that's why I couldn't find this subbed, is because I was looking for it as its own thing instead of just going to like the Digimon Adventure episode list.
Yeah. Like, what you need to do is you need to, like, specifically look up Digimon Adventure, and then scroll down every series that has, like, the word Digimon Adventure in it, to, like, find it at the very bottom, and you, like, click on it, and it's listed as, like, its own series of, like, 1 episode.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Like, if you're
I
trying
think,
to pirate this stuff, it is not, like, obvious what you're meant to be searching for.
by the way, my opinions do not reflect the opinions of the streaming channel, but steal the Digimon series if you want to watch it, because there's no legal way to watch it,
Yeah.
because the property owners seem determined to not let anybody watch it legally.
Yeah. Like, I will say, hey, if there's no legal way, yo ho
Steal
ho, Pirate's Life for me. Like, you're
steal
missing on the better version of this show, honestly. Like, just in all ways.
it. If you want to dub, watch the Filipino dub.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
I'm
good,
I'm
like, yeah.
I'm only kind of joking with that. The voice acting's kind of rough, but at least it keeps the original ideas.
Yeah. Like, it was pretty accurate from what you described. And
Yeah,
apparently, like, keeps the music and stuff, which is the big thing.
yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing. Is if you prefer dubs and you can get over listening to rough accents, or like accents you're probably not used to hear, kind of questionable voice acting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, watch the Filipino dub. It keeps the original script for the most part, as far as I could tell, and has all the music
Yeah.
from the
If you.
original series, which is way better than the dub.
Yeah.
That is something I want to say about the Digimon movie as a whole, though. Great soundtrack, because it's all like popular music from the
Oh, man.
90s.
If you
It's
want, like, watch
extremely
people find to All-Star, then watch the dub of this movie. If you want, like, hear actually, like, like, timeless sort of, like, good music like Braveheart, watch the sub.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wanted to qualify that as like great soundtrack, extremely unfitting for this movie.
Extremely unfitting and stupidly dated.
Oh yeah,
Like, was it? It's like, what's that song where it's like, oh, let's all go together.
I I think that song was made up for this movie.
Was it? I thought it was
I
like Green Day or something. Well, not
I
Green Day, but something like that.
I don't know. Or maybe I'm thinking of them going digital.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing they made up for this movie, and that is the new and improved Digirap.
Which is a shame, because it starts up and it's like the Digimon Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions, like, the dub opening.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's kind of catchy and fine and whatever. And it sounds like it's just gonna be like a remix of it, and it sounds really nice at first. And then all of a sudden, here it is, the rapping.
Alright, hang on. I'm like bring this up real quick.
Do you
Alright,
get
so
the
this is just gonna.
lyrics?
No, I just have the video.
Okay.
Alright, so I was gonna play this just in the background. I'll like turn the volume up a little bit.
Let me unmute the stream quick.
There we go.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, this is the Digirap. It's terrible.
Yeah, sorry, I should have like warned you, because like I turned up the like speakers for that, so you were just very loud for a second.
Oh, so
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
yeah. Okay, so this is the Digirap, and it's terrible. It's just whoever this is doing the rapping, putting Digi in front of a bunch of
Yeah,
words.
I was kind of on like the background, just like. Yeah, it's like they're just playing like, the thing. They have like just effing like, what is it? It's like just a basic like font, like basic like, like text format for like all these words as they show up. It's like, oh, Digi-Will and Digi-Exhaustion, Digimon digitize into the Doshin, and whatever. Yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Digi-ability,
if you see-
Digitude.
Yeah, if you look this up and you see like words flying at the screen, like
Yeah.
saying what the guy's saying, that's not like edited. That's part of the movie.
Yeah, that's canon.
By the way, we've already passed the Angela Anaconda thing, but that Angela Anaconda bit is also just attached to every version of this movie.
Every version of the dub. No,
Like, yeah.
it is canon
Yeah.
to Digimon.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
cannot
that
escape Angela Anaconda. They want this to succeed, damn it.
not yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. I just wanted to bring that up. Um, so yeah, actually getting to what happens in the first movie. From what I understand, I know
Yeah.
some little trivia bits from the sub, like
Before I get into it, I want to point out, apparently on some promotional material or something, they did claim that you could watch this without any knowledge of the show and you'd be fine.
oh, that's bullcrap.
It's such bullcrap.
That's a load of bullcrap. Um, so so yeah, we get like narration from Kari, which I guess isn't the thing in the original version.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it just probably kind of silently leads into
Yeah.
the events of what happens. But
You know
we
how,
got
like,
full.
way back I was talking about that, like, episode where it's like, Myosmon's, like, conducting the fog and there's this weird, like, flute music in the background and stuff? It
Not
starts with
really.
that. Like, that's
Okay.
the soundtrack at first. And it's like, building up the suspense of, like, oh, something weird's gonna happen.
Okay, so you did watch the subs,
Yes,
right?
I watched all three of these stories, and, like, yeah, so I know what
Okay.
happens. I understand this.
Okay, good. I'll just let you take the lead on this then.
Alright.
Because
Honestly,
all I have is dub knowledge.
yeah. So it's like, they just sort of go off, and it's like, yeah, Ty just wakes up in the middle of the night, because Kari's, like, looking at something. And it's like, oh, hey, there's an egg in the computer, and it just sort of, like, comes through, and he, like, wakes up, and they repeat the animation of him getting out of his bed. Which, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but fair enough.
According to Kari, it's Ty using the bathroom for the fourth time that night.
Yeah, that's dubism.
I know.
100%.
I know. I just gotta point out
Yeah.
silly things.
Oh, we gotta. It's Digimon. How can you not?
But yeah, Kari's just staring at a computer in, I guess, their dad's office or something.
Yeah.
And here comes the Digi-Egg.
So they just wake up and they're just like, oh, we have this egg, and they're like scrambling eggs while they're like, just sort of looking at it. They're just like, yeah, huh. Wonder what this is about. This is very weird.
I do want to say, I don't know if this is a Japan thing. I think it's insane that their mother leaves their 5-year-old to watch their 2-year-old.
And cook breakfast.
Yeah, like maybe
Yeah.
it's just a cultural thing.
It's pretty crazy.
That seems insane to me.
Like, it is implied that, like, their father, like, stays away all day and, like, just stays up drinking and stuff.
Oh.
So,
Yikes.
so it's like, they're sitting there, it's like Kari's just holding the egg. She just sort of drops it because she's, like, a toddler at this point, basically.
Yeah, Kari's like 2. Also,
Yeah.
in the intro narration, Kari's is like, back then I was, and then it stops on her and she goes, cute.
Yeah.
Kari's a baby.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, weird, like, yeah, it's one of the things, because in, like, the, like, dub version of the movie, they keep bringing up Willis.
Yeah, they keep referencing a character that we don't see.
So yeah, based on, like, what I've just, like, mentioned, it's like, yeah, of course, that's bullcrap. But it's
Yeah.
like, the only way to tie this together is to be like, oh, hey, like, Willis was getting his own Digimon at this time, see? And it, like, shows the footage from, like, the third movie of him just running around in, like, a sunflower field with his, like, 2, like, entraining Digimon.
Yeah.
And boy, does that
Lucky-
create some effing continuity problems later on this movie.
Oh boy. Lucky kid though, gets 2 Digimon partners.
Yeah. Oh man. Like they're twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, born from the same Digi-Egg, of course.
So yeah, the egg, Kari drops the egg and it rolls into their room and hatches.
Yeah, so it just hatches as like effing like, what is it? It's like Bodemon, I think.
Yeah, Bodemon.
Yeah. And like it just sort of runs away. And it's not really like talking. Kari just sort of like blows her whistle at and just makes a noise. And it just sort of shoots some bubbles back. And she just like blows her whistle twice and it like shoots 2 sets of bubbles. And it's like just sort of how they kind of communicate in this like baby language, right? Because it's like they can't either really speak, she's just like whistling at it, it's just repeating what she does. And in the dub, they do like the theme song.
Yeah, they do like a call and response like rendition of the dub opening of Digimon.
Yeah,
and it's silly. It's whatever.
Yeah, it makes way less sense.
Yeah, because like, how do they? Whatever.
Yeah.
How are they aware of the opening theme? But screw it.
See, Tai just sort of like turns his back for a moment. He just sort of looks back over, like after I go at some like candy bars and stuff, and it's like, oh hey, it's evolved into Koromon. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Doesn't like Bodemon? Well, this is so while they're doing the whistling thing, Bodemon's like under the bed. I think Tai throws something at it.
Yeah. Like honestly, that's super in character for Tai.
Yeah. So yeah, Bodemon after eating Digivolves to Koromon.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, hey, you made Digimon Digivolve, I guess. I think, maybe.
By the way, this is going to be the fastest, like, evolution of a Digimon to champion form ever.
Yeah, because it takes place over, like, the course of, like, a day.
Yeah. It took, despite the fact that, well, I don't know, Tai met Agumon, and on the first day of meeting him, turned him into a champion, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but he wasn't really, like, a rookie at that. Well, he wasn't, like, in training, I mean. Like, he wasn't in training at that point. He was, like, he had some experience,
He hadn't just hatched.
Yeah.
I do want to ask a question, and we get the dialogue from Kari's narration that this is not the Agumon they meet later. Is that
Yeah,
real?
that's true, yeah. Like, they actually mention that in the series, that it's like, oh yeah, that was a different Greymon.
Okay, so where the heck did this Agumon end up? It just...
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's the Greymon that our Greymon fought.
This gigantic Agumon.
Like,
this Agumon that's as big as a car.
Yeah, like he's bigger if you look at him.
Yeah, like he's so big he jumps out a window and smashes a car to pieces. We're skipping a lot of stuff, but
yeah.
There's like a silly scene where like the Koromon for some reason latches onto their faces to show affection, I guess.
Like in the dub, he's like, oh yeah, he's making like kissing sounds, and they're just like, oh, why does he keep kissing us? In the sub, it's like a sign of friendship he mentions, because he like jumps, and there it's like, oh yeah, he's hugging them.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like, okay, yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, because he has like the ears, so he has to jump on.
Right. They feed it cat food.
Yeah.
The cat's not happy about that.
Like, Koromon fights the cat and he loses, and Tai's just like, oh, come on, you can't even beat a cat.
Yeah.
And it just poops on the ground.
Yeah, and then they learn Koromon can talk. We're kind of speeding through a lot of this stuff because it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, Koromon just starts talking, and Tai's immediately just like, what the crap is that? Wait, it can talk? Wait, what?
Yeah. He also, in the dub, he's also like, how come you'll talk to that thing, but you only whistle at me? Because Kari just blows her whistle at Tai instead of talking to him.
Like, she's a toddler, you know? Yeah, she's got her quirks.
Yeah. But they wake up in the middle of the night, and Koromon's freaking out, and digivolves to Agumon.
Yeah, he just digivolves to Agumon. And he just sort of like, you see, like, Tai's dad just comes home all drunk in, like, the sub. And he's just sort of like, his mom's trying to stop it. He's like, yeah, I gotta give my kid a kiss goodnight. Come on, smoochy, smoochy. And he's trying to get into the room, and Tai's like barring the door to keep him from seeing Agumon. And he's like, hey, open up this door this minute, you stupid kid. It's like, oh, jeez.
Yikes, no wonder we never see Mr. Kamiya.
Yeah. Apparently Tai came from a bit of like a broken home, like it seems.
Yeah, and from the looks of things, the parents didn't stay together.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, either that or we just never see them. But you know.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Kari immediately just jumps on Agumon. She's like, alright, let's go for a ride. And he just jumps out the window and just, rushes through the city. As Tai just...
Yeah, he smashed the car into a pancake.
Smashes a car into pieces as Kari's just hanging on in her adorable little, like, koala onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, like, finds, like, a vending machine, just, like, shoves his claw through it, just, like, lifts it up, just shakes the, like, stuff out of it. And, like, Kari's just picking up the sodas, just like, oh, yeah, free, like, soda, yay!
Yeah, and the dub, she's like, oh, one of each. Like,
yeah.
Also, the cans are making the sounds of empty cans.
Yeah, that's weird.
Was that a sound effect in the original, too?
I don't remember it being.
Okay, well...
Yeah, the original sounds are different.
Okay, well, the cans are getting kicked around. They sound empty for some reason. It's really weird.
Yeah, jumping forward, there's a point where, like, Gargamon falls to the ground from, like, a fight, and you hear the sound of his effing gun arms clanking. And it's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So it's like, I grew up with this movie as a kid, like, the dub version. So I've watched this, like, who knows how many times, like, just over and over again. So it's like, these scenes are burned into my memory. And I'm like, I'm seeing the version that's like, the real one. Blah, blah, the real one that's, like, actually accurate and stuff. And it is wild.
I watched it. I watched this as a kid. I didn't watch it repeatedly because I didn't actually own it, but...
Yeah, we had, like, the VHS, so I was, like, watching this, like, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I watched it, I'm pretty sure I was visiting your place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright. That's a bit of lore, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had stayed the night. I don't remember any specifics, of course, but, like...
Yeah, me neither.
I'm pretty sure that over at your place is where I saw the Digimon movie.
Alright.
So... Yeah, Agumon's just kind of rampaging through the city, and he almost gets hit by a car.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh yeah. He jumps out of the way, he's like, okay, car's bad, and he tries to blow it up.
Yeah. Fortunately, he gets distracted by, like, a helicopter.
Yeah, well, it makes a helicopter noise, but it's like an airplane off in the distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like the lights in the sky,
Yeah.
Yeah, the dub is weird with this stuff.
Okay. No, that distracts him from shooting at the bus. How come he doesn't shoot at the car?
Well, like, yeah, he's gonna shoot at the bus, and, like, Kyrie's, like, screaming at him, and he, like, just looks up at the lights in the sky and shoots up at that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's, like, it's a truck.
In the dub, there's a line where it's a truck that almost hits them, actually. And there's you hear one guy go, whoa, did you see that? The other guy goes, no, man, I was sleeping. And the first guy goes, but you're driving.
Effing Digimon dubs. When will you ever change?
There's a joke in the second part that legit made me laugh.
Oh boy. Yeah, so there's like, like Kari's freaking out. Sorry, I almost said Kyrie. Kari's freaking out. And she's like, she's like crying. She's like, no, don't do it, Kurama. And like Tai just like manages to find them. And like they look over, there's like another Digi-Egg that's like forming in the sky that like distracts them again.
It's gigantic.
Yeah, just massive. Which kind of makes sense because it hashes a freaking ultimate.
I wasn't aware that Parrotmon's an ultimate.
Yeah, Parrotmon's an ultimate.
Ooh.
So yeah, this could have gone real bad. Holy crap. But yeah, they like...
In the dub, Ty says, I'd hate to see the chicken that laid that egg.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Parrotmon wakes up. No, wakes up. Is hatched. Is
Yeah.
born.
And I
We don't.
think it's like, yeah, immediately, like, Agron evolves to fight him or something.
I think he tries to attack it as Agumon and gets wrecked, and then Parrotmon attacks the bridge above them, and he digivolves to Greymon
Yeah,
to block
right,
the
yeah,
roll.
because he has to, like, he tries to save them, right, yeah. He digivolves to stop the wreckage and save Tai.
Yeah. Weird that this isn't the same Agumon to meet later, because that would have been a great backstory for that.
Yeah, it really would have, actually. Like, I'd like that a lot. But yeah, nah, it kind of, like, acts differently, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you get less the impression that this is a partner Digimon and more that this is a wild Digimon because it
Yeah.
goes out and starts attacking things.
Yeah, that's, like, the big thing, because it's like, oh yeah, kids, they find a monster and they sort of befriend it and stuff, and it goes out of control, and it's just doing whatever the crap it wants. Like, we
So
have no control over it. It's like a force of nature right now.
it's a big monster.
Yeah. So, like, Greymon just, like, fights back, and, like, he fights Parrotmon. And they
They
kind of, like,
they keep calling him Koromon. And
yeah.
Greymon goes, I'm Greymon now.
Yeah. Of course that's a dubism.
Does he not say anything in the sub?
Nah, he just kind of growls and stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
they keep calling it Koromon because, of course, they don't know any better.
Yeah. Right, right. When he, like, saves them, like Tai says, like, a sign of affection, because, he's, like, wrapping his arms around them at the front.
Okay.
In the sub, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's way better than him. I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
Greymon and Parrotmon are battling in the streets in front of Heightened View Terrace or whatever it's made.
Yeah.
Does it have a different name in the sub? Or is it
I don't
actually
think
called
it does.
Heightened
I
View?
think it's just, like, Handview Terrace.
Okay, and all the future Digidestined are watching out the window.
Yeah, so if there's, like, any, like, doubt about, like, watching dub versus sub, the dub cuts around some of the action. Because it gets
Really?
kind of violent.
Okay, that's a shame because this is one of the praises I have for pretty much all three of these. The animation's fantastic.
Oh, it is for sure.
Like this is not like this is movie quality animation on something that wasn't intended as a movie, and it looks fantastic.
Like, it looks so good. Like, they kind of cut around it, but it's like, yeah, Greymon, like, shoots out a Nova Flare, and he, like, blasts off one of Parrotmon's wings.
Oh,
And, like, they grapple, and, like, Greymon just, like, rears his head up and, like, stabs the front of, like, his front horn through, like, the bottom of his beak. And, like, that's why Paramount, like, backs off, and you'd see, like, in the dub version, like, after they grapple, Paramount's beak is kind of chipped up.
oh man, I gotta watch this scene. This is
It's so good. Man, Paramount's, like, shooting lightning and stuff, he's just going nuts. And, like, he sort of, like, knocks Greymon out a little bit, and he's, like, charging up his next shot. And, like, Kari's, like, trying to, like, wake him up and stuff, and she's, like, blowing the whistle, but she just doesn't have the strength. And Tai, just without thinking, just, yeah.
remember, Kari has like some kind of illness or something,
Yeah.
and apparently she had it even as a baby. So yeah, she's trying to blow the whistle, and she just doesn't have the breath for it. And
Yeah.
like Tai sees what she's trying to do. And
Yeah,
he
he
grabs
just...
the whistle.
He grabs the whistle and he just blows into as hard as he effing can. It just alerts all the other, like, Digidestined in the area. They're, like, kids to, like, see this crap.
Yeah.
And, like...
In the dub, there's a point where I think it's Sora. She's like, do it, Tai, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Is that a dubism?
I think it is. I don't remember specifically.
Okay, I didn't think the kids knew each other at that age.
Yeah. I don't believe they did.
Okay, so that, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dubism.
Yeah, Tai blows the whistle, like, wakes Greymon back up. And, like, he just uses the big Nova Flare, and that somehow sends both him and Parrotmon back to the digital world. And, like, in the dub, it's playing effing, like, 90s music that's super unfitting.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, we get to the end of the story, which is, like, the part that the dub definitely cut off. Where it's like, yeah, they're like, Greymon's just gone. They're just like basking in the aftermath. They're just like, oh man, like, that was crazy. As it just sort of goes up to sky, it just sort of like fades out. It starts playing like, Butterfly. Yeah, I think it's like Butterfly or something like that. And you get this like scene where it's like, the giant like Greymon. And like, just sort of like leans down, sort of gets down like all fours. And, like, Tai just sort of, like, hugs him, like, just hugs his giant face, as, like, the credits just roll by. And it's just such a nice little moment that we just never got, because they can't have credits in the middle of their movie.
Yeah. By the way, the 90s song that plays at the climax of the fight is, in the dub, is, the one that they made up. That's the point where they play him going digital.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, that's made up for the movie, for the quote unquote movie.
Yeah. So yeah, like, for the dub film, like, the link is meant to be, it's like, okay, this happens, and it's like, okay, like, 5 years later or whatever. And it's like, alright, now Ty's grown up, now you've seen where God's Digimon from. Well, like, not, like, the same one, but it's like, yeah, that's how the dub kind of, like, ties it,
Yeah, this is after the events of the Dark Masters.
Yeah.
This is after the events of the series entirely.
Yeah. So, do we want to, like, keep going about, like, the first one, or are we just sort of done with that?
I think we're done with it. That's about all that happens. This is a big Parrotmon fight, and then it ends.
Yeah, it's super well animated, super worth your time.
Fantastic animation.
Yeah. Like, if you haven't seen it, like, just check it out. It's so good. Yeah. I don't know if it's, like, a good entry point to the series, but, it definitely does, like, wrap things up. Yeah, and then we get into, like, the second story, which is, like, a 40-minute, like, friggin', like, special that's called, like, My War Games or something, or, like, Our War Games, something like that.
Our War Game.
Yeah. It was so hard to track down, because, like, the sub-version is listed on, like, something like Bokugo no War Games. Because it's like, yeah, that whole thing. And it's like, dang it, just call it, like, Digimon War... whatever, it's fine. But yeah, if you ever want to look that up, just look up, like, Digimon War Games, and you should probably find it. Like, don't try anything else, or you're like, you might not be able to find it.
Well, I will say this: if the story premise sounds cool and you don't really care about it having Digimon, look up Summer Wars.
Yes, I've never actually seen Summer Wars.
Summer Wars is part 2 of this movie without Digimon.
Oh boy.
Like, if you watch it, the parallels are insane. It's the same movie.
I'll take your word on it. But yeah, like, Our War Games is, like, great. So, like, just what the subversion is, like, the actual original version. This is just like, alright, Izzy's just, like, looking on the internet and stuff. He's just, like, just sees this Digiegg pop up, and he's like, hey, what's this? And it, like, hatches, and it just leaves a message that says, like, hello. And it's like, that's the thing. It's, like, bookended between, like, the birth of this Digimon and its, like, eventual defeat, as, like, things just escalate into, like, more and more crazy situations.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the Digimon wiki so I can remember what the forms are called.
Yeah.
Mostly it's the first form, or the first and second forms I forgot the names of.
I think the first is Caramon, yeah.
No, Kuramon.
Kuramon?
Yeah, its champion is not champion. Its rookie is Kuramon.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like the in training's Kuramon.
Kuramon is the baby. It's
Okay,
like it's
Kuramon, Karamon, and I think it's like Chryslamon.
No, listen. Kuramon is the very, very first, like, just hatched form.
Right, okay.
Next form is Sumemon.
Alright, I don't think I've ever heard that one, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's the I don't think we see Sumemon actually.
Yeah. Well,
or do we? It's like
I think we see a bit of it, yeah. Man, that's like Karamon, Chrysamon, I think. Inframon and Diaboromon.
Karamon. Yeah, it's called
Chrysamon or something.
Chrysalmon. Like
Chrysalmon, okay, yes.
But in America, if you played the games, it's more commonly known as Kurisarimon.
Right, yeah. Right, I was trying to think. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Because I do remember that name.
Which is weird, because the Digimon Wiki doesn't list the name Kurisarimon. Like,
yeah.
On the Digimon Wiki, it usually has, like, the Digimon's American name, and then it'll have, like, the Japanese name underneath it.
Yeah. I guess Kurisarimon don't really appear that much, really.
Yeah, Chrysalmon doesn't have... Oh, that's an I, Chrysalimon.
Chrysalimon, okay, yes.
Chrysalimon, yeah.
I'll just call it, like, effing, like...
Kurisarimon.
Kurisarimon, alright, yes. That's, like, easier to remember, I think.
Which is funny, because it's kind of a more complex name. Anyways.
Yeah.
We're not even at that point yet.
Yeah, this entire movie is just, like... You know, just trying to make these connections, because, like, the group's falling apart, and it's like, okay, there's this big world-ending thing happening. We have to, like, get connected. And the answer is, yeah, that's very hard with our life situation.
Yeah, in the dub, maybe this is also in the sub, Tai and Sora are having, like, a big fight.
Yeah, so the fight is accurate.
Okay.
Alright. Like, basically what happened is, you know, it starts off as he finds this Digimon, and we, like, see all the Digidust and, you know, where they are and stuff, what they're doing. And Tai's just, like, trying to send an email out to, like, apologize to Sora over, like, you know, this fight they had. And, like, he accidentally, like, hits a key so it has, like, a heart at the end. And, like, Kari just sends the message for him, but it gets blocked for some reason. And he's like, come on, you know, why doesn't it go through?
In the dub, he signs it as Love Tai, and then he's like, why did I sign it like that? And he doesn't delete it, and then Kari's like, oh, this is what you have to press to send the email, and she clicks it.
That's basically how that goes down.
Yeah, and then Tai is like, oh man, I can't believe she's actually gonna read it, and then it doesn't send, and he's like, I can't believe it didn't send, now she won't be able to read it.
Man, like, Tai's expression game in this, like, effing story is just on point.
Yeah, Tai's expressions are, like, it's great.
Oh, man.
Continuing the great animation of the previous thing, yeah.
Yeah. And they're just, like, you know, as he just sort of comes over, he's like, hey, Tai, we got an emergency. And he's like, hey, Y2K is happening. Like,
does
basically,
he say that?
He don't directly say it, but it's heavily implied. He's like, yeah, this Digimon was created from, like, electronic malfunctions across the globe in, like, the year 2000.
That's way cooler as a premise of why this Digimon exists.
Yeah, it was created from, like, glitches and, like, systems across the planet. It just, like, you know, shows up and it just starts eating data and, like, evolving and, you know, gaining power.
That's way cooler than there was a Digimon that was going to hatch and that it was infected with a virus.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a different explanation in the dub, but that's fine.
Well, that's the dub explanation.
Is it?
Yeah, is that a Digimon appeared and then it was
Yeah,
infected with a virus, and that's what created it. I like the implication that it's like a
yeah.
crazy Y2K Digimon.
Like the dub explanation's like it's very vague. It just sort of like goes by super fast in the third story. But yeah, essentially what the dub is, it's like, oh yeah, Willis tried to create a Digimon, and it just didn't work out.
Mm.
So yeah, back to our war games. So it just starts, it just shows up, just starts eating data, just starts like screwing with everything. And you
By, by the way, they're clearly making up the rules of how the internet works for this, but that's fine because it's a fun
yeah.
premise.
Let's just sort of hack into all these different like systems and stuff. Like it hacks into like the amusement park system and like the sub, and it's like making the Ferris wheel just go around super fast, and people are just like, "Oh, why can't we get off this thing?"
Oh man. In the in the dub, Izzy hacks into the military.
Yeah,
And I'm like, you what?
yeah, that's dub only. That's definitely dub only.
It's like we can hack into a military satellite to get connection to the internet. And I'm like, you cannot. Shut
Yeah,
up.
in the sub, he just has like an effing satellite uplink phone, basically. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
So
I could just jerry-rig something with this.
I will say that this is the jump. This is jumping ahead a little bit of where we are.
Yeah.
Izzy's like, I went out and bought this thing so we can hack into the military, whatever, and we can use the internet. That's not important. The important thing is like Ty's like, okay, how's that work? And Izzy's like, do you know what a semiconductor is? And Ty goes, is it a guy who works part time as a train conductor? Or works part time on a train or something like that.
Oh, it's dumb.
I legit laughed out loud because it was really it was just stupid enough to get me. I was like, oh, that's good.
Alright. Yeah, so there's like, alright, we have a problem. How do we fix this? And it's just like, oh, hey, we can like send our Digimon through the internet through like Genai bullcrap. And it's like, okay, awesome. So Ty's like, alright. Sorry, what?
I said, thanks, Genai.
Alright, yeah. And we see all the Digimon, like, just sprite forms on the computer, just like, leaving to go join the fight. And Gamon's just walking into a wall for a few seconds.
I don't think we see oh wait, of course we don't see Gatomon, because Kari's completely out of this.
Yeah. It's like, without champion forms, like, yeah, we can't really do much to this thing.
Yeah, Kari's at a birthday party.
Yeah, well, I sat knowing Gamon's a champion, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And in the dub, Kari got her friend a pink Power Ranger. Now,
yeah, I wonder
Rangers.
what brand owns the, like, animation, like, dubbing company for this.
Power Rangers, formerly airing on Fox Kids.
Yeah. Like, I don't think she says what was in, like, the sub, and Ty's just like, oh, present? Gimme. No, gimme.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, why is Ty trying to steal the present?
Yeah, I think he's just toying around, really. Yeah, so Ty's like, alright, I'll call up the others, Izzy, like, keep your eye on this situation. And he's just, like, trying to call everyone. It's like, oh, hey, Joe, and Joe's like, sorry, I've got an exam. And he's like, alright, crap, like, Matt, what are you up to? And, he's just like...
He can't even reach Matt and TK because they're, like, out in the countryside visiting.
Right, they're, like, the last people he calls, actually, isn't it? Because, like, he tries to call them, and he, like, tries to call Kari. He's like, alright, Kari, come over here. And she's like, I can't, we're, like, we haven't even blown out the candles yet. And he's like, alright, well, just as soon as you're done, come over here, stat. And he, like, dials over.
The dub line is, but the magician hasn't shown up yet, and I volunteered to be the one to get sawed in half. Ty's like, well, tell your legs to run back here as soon as possible, or whatever.
Oh, man. He, like, tries to call up Matt just at his grandma's house out in the country. And, like, she picks up the phone, she's like, hey, who's this? He's like, yeah, I need to talk to, like, Matt right now. And she's like, alright, yes, that's my grandson. She's like, alright, is he here? I need to talk to him. She's like, alright, I'll give him over a minute. And she, like, hangs up the phone. She's like, hey, Matt, there's a guy who wants to talk to you. And it just cuts to Ty just looking, just effing, like, just so worn out and frustrated. He's just like, are you serious? And Izzy's like, he like goes to Izzy, he's like, hey Izzy, I need you to talk to Sora. And he's like, no, but like, you're closer to where you do it. He's like, no, but I can't. He's like, crap, where's Mimi? And it's like, oh yeah, Mimi's just off in Hawaii.
Yeah. Also, Izzy's helping Ty's mom make a cake.
Yeah, just off in the background because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Izzy's a good boy. He gets roped into it.
This isn't the dubism unless they animated
Yeah.
a special scene where Izzy's helping, like, get flour or whatever.
Like, Izzy, like, Ty's mom is, like, making a cake, and Izzy's just helping out because he's a good kid.
Yeah. In the dub, Ty's mom is making a whole bunch of horrible food items. Beef jerky shakes.
Yeah, that's a dubism. Yeah, and the sub she just like, like offers them like shakes, and Izzy's like, alright, yeah, thanks, because he's a good kid, so he just drinks it up.
Yeah.
And that comes back shakes, later.
Beef jerky shakes, potato juice, the spinach cookies.
Jeez, why?
I like spinach. I don't want to eat it in cookies. So yeah, Ty's mother making a whole bunch of horrible food in the dub. Anyways.
So spaghetti pizza, does it sound good or terrible?
I wouldn't eat them both together.
Yeah, I might try it once, but yeah, that'd be it. So yeah. Glad we got that out of the way. Very important right now. So it's sort of like, you're trying to get a hold of everyone. There's like, okay, Izzy, I guess we just gotta do this on our own. So they, like, go off to, like, fight the virus. It's like, Chargemon right now.
Yeah, it's still Chargemon.
Yeah. So you just, like, send their Digimon out to the internet. And the dub, there's a weird thing about it's like, oh yeah, we, like, have to use a password or something. Use this one. And yeah, that's not a thing.
It's the implication is that you need a password to go online.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, Izzy's like, use mine, it's prodigious. Because that's his catchphrase.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's his catchphrase in the dub. Anyways.
Yeah.
They go to the big area where Chargemon is eating Data or whatever. Yeah.
Chargemon's like eating Data, and like they go to the internet, and it's like he's in the amusement park system, and that's why in the background there's just like, like these weird wallpaper like Ferris wheels everywhere, and like, this ring of like horses, because that's the merry-go-round system.
Okay.
So it's like, alright, yeah. In the dub, they don't show him, like, actually hacking into any of that stuff. So it's just like, oh, well, this is just digital nonsense, I guess. Yeah, it's, like, very abstract. Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
I said, yeah, they get skipped right over in the dub.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, also, like, Chargemon's just, like... Because he's, like, screwing with technology, he's, like, making the prices of things go up and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, we can't skip over that.
Yeah, that's some, yeah, that chocolate would be, like, 1 million whatever. Wow, that must just, wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh, no, that's what it says. That's some really good chocolate.
Yeah.
Will that be cash or credit?
Oh, man. There's like, apparently it's like affecting like what like the food labels actually are, because people are like looking at things and they're just like, oh, that's too expensive for me, and they're putting it back down.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently him hacking the internet is somehow affecting the food labels somehow.
Maybe it's affecting the sticker printer.
No, it's Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's just a weird little thing, and it's like, alright. Because, like, you see, like, the, like, barcode and, like, the zeros and ones are, like, flipping around and stuff. And I assumed that was, like, metaphorical until they picked up the thing and there's, like, put it back down. It's like, alright, this is too expensive.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Digimon are powerful, yo. Digimon are so strong. But yeah. So, like, I think Agumon and Tailmon, like, fight Caramon, and they're, like, blasted, and there's like, okay, let's Digivolve and stop them. So, they, like, just keep blasting him. Wait, no, before he died, they just keep blasting him for a bit. And then, like, out of the smoke cloud, he just, like, shows up. Wait, yeah, they Digivolve first. Right, sorry, I'm getting sad more. Yeah, first they Digivolve, and they're, like, blasting him. And then you see, like, out of the smoke cloud, he's like, oh yeah, Digivolution, huh? And they just Digivolves into, like, Inframon and fights back.
Yeah, he skips Chrysalimon.
Yeah. Kursarimon, yeah. Well, I guess they're both right. Yeah. He skips the champion form and goes straight to Ultimate.
Yeah, and maybe it's just the dub thing, but he's like, wow, he skips, he went to champion.
Yeah, no, that's in the sub too.
Okay, they don't realize that he jumped straight to Ultimate.
Yeah, until they shoot him a little bit, and they're just like, well, crap, he's way too powerful. And it's like, oh, he must have, like, skipped past the champion phase. They're just like, alright, well, we have to, like, Digivolve 2 if we want to keep up with this.
Yeah. Infermon's like, because the animation's amazing. Infermon's like jumping off the walls and like shooting at them and whatnot. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, they start Digivolving to Ultimate, and Inframon, like, attacks them while they're Digivolving. And
Infermon's like, I don't think so, and like shoots them mid-transformation.
And it just screws him up and just, like, turns him back to Rookie. And there's like, yeah, sorry, we tried. And Inframon's basically, like, laughing at them as he, like, crawls away in the sub. Like, he has this weird, like, robot cackle.
Yeah, it creates... I think he laughs at him in the dub, too. He creates, like, an exit and just walks through it.
So it's like they mention the sub. I forget where exactly, but it's like Izzy mentions that, like, oh, he's still just a child mentally. Like, he's gained all this power, but he's still just, like, a kid who's screwing around and playing jokes. So it makes sense they'd have this weird, like, mechanical, like, laughing voice and stuff. Because, he's laughing at them. He's learning as he, like, fights. It's that Japanese thing of, like, oh, we're, like, evolving as, like, the fight progresses. And, like, in the dub, they go in this really deep, like, menacing voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's saying like cryptic stuff, like he's looking for someone or whatever.
Yeah, that's dub only. That's a big dubism.
Yeah, because we know who he's looking for.
Yeah.
Well, we know who he's looking for by the end of the...
In the dub, we do.
Yeah.
In the sub, he's just there to, like, cause chaos.
Yeah, there's no deeper meaning, I assume. It's just...
Yeah. He's just there to, like, screw around and just cause havoc and just be this gremlin in the machine, basically.
Yep. So eventually they do get a hold of,
before that, like, he crawls away and then Inframon, like, cuts out the internet connection.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, they lose internet access because they're just like, well, crap.
Yeah, this is where Izzy runs off and gets the satellite uplink.
Yeah. So he gets that, like, they managed to set it up. As he's, like, setting that up, Ty is just freaking out. And he's like, oh, jeez, it's over. We can't stop this thing. He's just, like, seeing, like, in the sub, he's just freaking out. He's like, oh, what are we supposed to do? And he looks on TV. They're just like, oh yeah, if you need connections, like, if you need to, like, talk to someone desperately, like, please use the Japanese emergency service line. This line was created in the 1980s where they start going off and it, like, trails off a bit, and Ty's like, oh yeah, that!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it, but the phone goes out, and that's what kills the internet connection. Because
Yeah.
this is back when dial-up was the main.
Yeah, this is like the 2000s.
Yeah. Oh boy, who remembers dial-up?
I remember dial-up. I remember it very well.
Yeah, you couldn't use the internet if somebody was using the phone.
Yeah. It's points where it'd be like, oh yeah, yo, like, like my parents would be like, oh yeah, get off the internet. I'd be like, no, but I have to finish this thing or I won't get this rare item in like Adventure Quest worlds. And they like forced it off, and I never got that item.
Yeah, because they just pick up the phone and it would kill the connection.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get their method of staying online.
I'm proud that like the dub is just like, oh yeah, we just set up like an emergency hotline like right now that you can use. Because of course, they're trying to keep it from being Japan, so yeah.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's very
obvious.
Yeah, it's very Japan. So yeah, they have to play phone tag to communicate.
Yeah. Like, essentially how it works is like, oh yeah, you send a message out, and you like check back on the number to see if you have any messages back. So it's like a one-way communication system.
Yeah.
So there's like, a bit where it's like they're doing back and forth with Matt to try and get a hold of him. They like tell Kari to come home and she doesn't listen. Because like birthday party's still going on.
It's like Kari could really use the help.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the big theme of the movie is basically it's like, oh yeah, like times are changing. Like getting connected is very hard. It's hard to like stay in touch with people.
Which is funny because it's easier than ever nowadays.
Yeah. Well, like now we have the internet.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Like that's kind of like part of it too, isn't it? Because like the big thing is that it's like they keep getting emails as soon as they get the satellite uplink going.
Which is crazy to me. Does every kid in the world know the email addresses of Ty and Izzy?
Well, they are like watching this live, so maybe.
It's weird. How did every kid in the world get their email address? Anyways.
I know. But yeah, you just sort of like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. It's like Izzy just like offhandedly is like, oh yeah, we can't call the government because like a friend in Russia's like been like looking into this, and like this is what he says in the sub. He's like, it's a friend in Russia who like tried to like contact like governments and stuff, and they won't listen to him. So we're our own in this one. And the dub, it's Willis.
It's Willis.
And you see his like message pop up at some point, and his like the toddler Willis avatar from 5 years ago. Willis took a picture of himself as a baby, and he never changed it.
Is it Willis who tries to contact his local government, or is it somebody else?
In the dub, it's Willis.
Okay.
In the sub, it's just some random Russian friend.
Right. But I think Izzy mentions two separate people who are trying to help from other countries, or maybe I'm just wrong.
No, in the dub, it's all Willis.
Oh, okay.
It's all Willis. Gotta tie this together with a third story somehow,
You just gotta keep bringing them up until it makes sense.
Yeah, just gotta keep hammering it in, Just couldn't make this a double feature on like a straight to DVD thing. Gotta, hammer it in, just keep it going, and just push it harder.
So yeah, they meet up with or they finally get a hold of Matt and TK through the phone tag thing.
Yeah.
And Matt and TK inform the others that they gotta go into town because their grandmother doesn't own a computer.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that, like, when, like, Infamon knocks out the phones, it's just in, like, their prefecture, basically. Because, like, yeah.
Oh, maybe, because, yeah, Matt tries to call, and it gets a busy signal.
Yeah. So yeah, like, Matt just sort of scrambles off, and like, in the sub we see him scrambling around town to find a computer.
Oh, we actually see the process.
Yeah, we see him going from place to place, and like TK's just crying. There's just people who are just like, nah, can't let you use this one, it's not hooked up anyways. And you like eventually get to the point where it's like, it's just a couple arguing over like whether or not to let them use it. And it's like, no, Matt, you created this situation. You just have to deal with it. Like he starts a like heated like marriage argument. Eventually finds a place at the barbershop.
Yeah, the barbershop with a computer. It's fine.
Yeah, and he just managed to like, get him to use it. And it's like, I can't say no to those kids, whatever. Like the guys that they're trying to like get him to like just take out like clothes and stuff or something. Just sort of do errands for him. Yeah, so Matt eventually like logs on and they go like fight Infamon. And at first, wait, before they go fight him, they get a message from, I forgot. But yeah, they get this weird message where it's like, right before he like takes out the phone lines. Alright, I'm going back a bit. It's like, he just sends this weird message. It's just hello, like, over and over again. And he's like, just sort of calls everyone's phones at once. And, you see everyone just put out, it's like, oh, hello. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's how he does it, yeah.
In the dub, literally everybody says hello at the same time.
Yeah, that's basically how it works.
Okay.
But yeah, like, essentially what this means is that Izzy does have his email address. Infamon's email address is canon.
Yeah, Infamon has Diaboromon has an email address.
Alright, so, like, Matt and Ty go up to, like, fight Infamon. And they, like, just evolve to Megaform, because they're just like, alright, we can't screw around, we gotta end this immediately. And you see, like, people around the world just reacting to this evolution. And there's, like, there's, like, monks in China and, like, full, like, orange, like, robe garb just staring at the computer screen, watching this Digivolution happen.
Yeah, people around the world are watching the hypest internet battle ever.
Yeah. It's like, Paimon and, like, effing Tomon come too, and they're, like, fighting it out. And he just, like, gets some hits off, and it's like, alright, let's take him down. And Infamon just digivolves to Diaboromon. And he immediately, like, attacks Tilmon Paimon, just sort of, like, knocks him out. And, like... Yeah.
Everybody else's Digimon become irrelevant at this point.
Yeah. Like, the dub downplays this significantly, but, like, the sub, like, as soon as Infamon, like, attacks Paimon, Matt freaks out. And he's like, I'll kill you! That's like, yeah, that's so on brand.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? Man, get this, like, just awesome battle where it's like there's fighting Infamon and, like, sorry, Diaboromon. They're fighting Diaboromon together. There's just a bit where, like, like, where Greymon's charging it, and he, like, blows off, like, his arm claw, and where Ground just rears back and just punches him in the face.
Ah, nice.
It's so good. And he, like, blows off his other arm, and he just, like, just punching him out with his bare hands. It's like, I don't even need the Draymond Destroyers for this crap.
But
yeah, it's like,
all of a sudden,
they mentioned that, like, War Greymon's slowing down a bit.
Yeah.
And as he's just like, oh crap, he's like, hey Ty, I got taken the biggest leak ever. Cause like, yeah, he's just gone for like a second. Ty's like, oh, can't you hold it? He's like, nope, no, there's no holding back this.
Yeah, in the dub, I get more the impression that he's got to take a huge dump because of all the horrible things he's eating.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense, because he's, like, gone and back in, like, a second.
Yeah, and in that short time that he's gone, Ty manages to blue screen the computer.
Yeah. Because, of course, Ty's like, oh, wait, why is Wargron moving so slow? And he's like, come on, just smacks the computer, it just ruins everything.
Which is silly, because the computer monitor is just a monitor. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like he slapped the tower.
Well, I guess that's the only way they didn't really, like, issue commands and stuff anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
like,
it doesn't make sense that the computer blue screened because he slapped the monitor.
Yeah,
that would only
well,
happen
yeah, I guess that, yeah. Alright, I get what you mean now.
Heck, I don't even know if slapping the tower would have caused that unless he did it really hard.
Yeah, well, it is Ty we're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, he kills the computer, and as he comes back, he's like, what did you do?
It's like, I do nothing.
How'd you kill the computer in, like, the 5 seconds I was gone?
Oh boy.
So yeah, they gotta reboot the whole computer while Matt
It's
and...
implied that, like, while they're rebooting, like, you know, War Greymon's just, like, frozen in place because the connection's screwed up. And, like, Melgarumon has to, like, protect him on his own, and that's why they both get screwed over.
Okay, is that just something that doesn't show in the dub?
Yeah, well, it doesn't really show it in either version, but it's like, I assume that's the implication here.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's like, Matt has to, like, you know, protect War Greymon while this is going on, basically. Because, like, when I get back, Matt's just like, where the crap did you go? Like, what happened out there? And you just see that, like, you know, Wargron and Melgarumon are just super screwed up. Because, like, Diaboromon doesn't screw around. Yeah, they're freaking out, and they're just like, oh, jeez, like, Diaboromon just sort of, like, crawls off. Yeah, and you see, like, in the background is always, like, railroad, like, having construction stuff, so I assume he's in some construction system at that point. Sorry, what?
Isn't this the part where Diaboromon starts multiplying?
Yeah, because he runs away, and he sends them a message that says who can count backwards from 10. And you see a bit of Diaboromon, this, like, clock, and he, like, you know, he, like, waves his arm, and the clock disappears. So it's like, this is the new game he's playing, because, like, you know, Diaboromon's escaped, and he manages to basically, like, get into the American, like, military system, and he launches a nuke. And in the dub, weirdly enough, they say he launches 2 and one's aimed at Willis. Because of course they do.
It's headed for Colorado.
Yeah, it's headed for Willis. Jeez, Diaboromon's trying to, like, find Willis so hard, guys. But what's actually happened is he launches a nuke in the sub, and, like, the nuke is heading to, like, you know, the prefecture that Ty lives at.
Yeah, in the dub, Izzy is like, it's headed directly, pretty much directly for this house.
Yeah, like, that's the implication. So you, like, go off to, like, yo, like, fight Diaboromon, and then it's realize he's multiplying it. It's like, well, crap, we don't have the power to fight, like, how many of them are there? And, you know, like, as he's just looking, he's like, looks like there's at least 700,000.
In the dub, he says 75,000 and counting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like Diaboromon's multiplying fast, and it's nuts.
It's like, and they couldn't even handle one of him.
Yeah. So you're just like, there's so much to deal with right now. It's so insane. And it's like, alright, we have 10 minutes until this nuke just blasts Japan. And there's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, this is a problem. Just a real big problem.
Yeah, and you see it's like, yo, just counting down. It's like, 10 minutes. And it's like, yo, Ty's mom puts the cake in the oven, and she's like, alright, I've got 10 minutes on this. You know, it shows, like, Joe in his exams, and it's like, 10 minutes remaining, and Joe's, like, scrambling.
Yeah, Also, that's the thing. Joe is doing like exams right now.
Yeah. And it's like this point, it's like Ty gets in a bit of a fight with Izzy, and he's like freaking out as he's like, hey, it's not my fault, just ring off the emails, because people are just emailing us like crazy, and Ty's like, alright, well, just, if only I hadn't like screwed things up with Sora, and Ty just explained what happened, and he's like, oh yeah, like, I sent her like a hair clip, but then she got really upset at me because she was like wondering if I thought her hat looked bad. So we got into a big fight over the stupid hair clip, and now we're kind of like on rough terms. And if you remember back, like at the beginning of this like story, yeah, you see Sora, and she's like looking in the mirror or something. She's like, flipping her hair. She's like, oh, does the hat really look bad? It's like, oh yeah, that's what it is. And like you get to O2, and Sora don't got the hat no more. Yeah.
Also, all the way back to the first movie, real quick. There's like in the dub, there's an offhanded mention of Ty throwing up in Sora's hat.
Yeah, that's dub only.
Yeah. But they bring it back. They bring it back in the second part where he says, like, this is like the time I threw up in your hat. Haha. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so essentially it's like, got 10 minutes left, and, Ty and, like, Mar just freaking out, and there's like, no, we have to fight him. There's nothing we can do. So Digimon go at it. It's like, oh crap, like, more Greymon's lagging out for all this email data going through. And, like, they just get wrecked and they can't, like, fight him. So it's like Ty and Matt somehow managed to go through the computer, like, into the internet world, because they're freaking out over their Digimon dying. And, like, the scene to Gar is like, Diaboromon's just, like, sort of chilling out. It's like, I don't think I mentioned it, but it's established that it's like, one of these Diaboromon has the clock. And, like, if you didn't take out the one with the clock, then yeah, you didn't stop this.
Okay. They don't mention anything about the clock in the dub. They just say if we take out the original.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what the clock thing was about. Because in the dub, he says something like, go back or something. Trying to, like, just mix things together. But it's like, nah. It's like, because he's playing a game of, like, run out the clock. So we have to find the one with the clock.
Makes sense.
It's like, this is a game he's doing. So, like, they, like, go on there, just, like, embracing their Digimon, crying and stuff. And the emails, like, give them power. And all the Digidestined from all across the world just, they send in their mails and their hopes come together. And it allows, like, a miracle to happen where it's like, more Greymon, Melgarumon just fuse together into Omnimon. And the sub, we just get this, like, this, like, glorious, like, like, choir of, like, just, like, voices just doing this, like, just holy as crap, just music going on, as he just, just extends his sword and he just wipes out, like, just a million Diaboromon at once. He just takes out his kid, it's like, time to the music, and it's just like, just boom, 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 just takes him out until there's just one left.
Yeah, Omnimon is just wiping out all of them.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's such a good moment in the sub. And, like, in the dub, it's like, let's kick it off! Let's do it! Let's do it, yeah!
Yeah, I think that song was also created for the movie.
Oh, man. They might as well have been playing effing All-Star. Like, that's exactly the tone the dub goes for here. Oh, man.
At least you could argue it's triumphant sounding.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that. I don't know.
Alright,
So yeah,
like...
Omnimon is just obliterating all the Diaboromons until there's one left.
Yeah, but he's like, his reactions are slow and he can't quite catch up to it. And there's like, oh right, the emails. We have to forward our emails to Diaboromon.
Yeah, Izzy's just like, oh, I'll just send them all to Diaboromon. It's like, why does Diaboromon have an email account?
So it can send taunting messages, of course.
Yeah. So whatever, they redirect it all to Diaboromon, and Diaboromon just freezes.
Yeah, they take him out right as he's about to shoot them with like just 1 second left. Because of course.
Yeah.
And you see the nuke just crash into the lake. It's like Ty and Izzy are just hanging over the edge, just exhausted.
Wait. Omnimon doesn't shoot him. He rushes over and stabs him through the head.
Sorry, I meant Diaboromon was gonna shoot Omnimon.
Oh, okay.
Because you see his chest can just opening up.
Oh, yeah, okay. It would have been faster if Omnimon had shot Diaboromon.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have been as climactic.
Also, a part in the dub, like, as Diaboromon dies, he's just like, Willis!
Yeah. Stop trying to tie everything to Willis. Oh my god.
The Willis is so special, though. He is 2 Digimon. Everything's gotta be about Willis. Oh man.
So yeah, they do it. They beat him.
Yeah, they beat Diaboron with 1 second to spare, and you see like Sora finally gets that email as she's like, just like reads it and she's like, dumb Ty. And you see her just sort of like, just sort of like smile a bit or whatever. It's just like, alright, yeah, but she cares, And it's implied they go over their little, like, trouble.
Yeah, they made up, I guess.
Yeah. And then they were happy forever.
So like, yeah, third, part 3 that I didn't watch all of.
Yeah. So this is where things get crazy. So, like, if you're watching the dub, musical changes suck, but it's like, story 1's mostly intact, It's like all there, like, yes, miss a bit of the action, but it's fine. Story 2, very much mostly intact for the most part. They skipped some stuff, the pacing's off. But, like, it's there.
You're roboting into nothing.
Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, story 1's intact, like, from the dub perspective. Okay, yeah. Story 2, mostly intact. Like, it's there, but, they miss some details and there's, like, screwing with some stuff, basically, with the plot. Like, Story 3, holy crap. Like, so if you notice, like, the movie is, like, 1 hour and 30 minutes long or something with the dub version.
Yeah, something like that.
So, like, with the sub versions, it's like, the first story is like 20 minutes, the second one's like 40 minutes, so that's already 1 hour, and the third one's like a full hour on its own. So
it's almost a proper movie by itself.
Yes. So they cut a lot from that crap. Like, holy crap, the third movie got just butchered.
Yeah, they put part 3 on the chopping block.
Yeah, so like, very quick about the third movie. Like, sorry, part 3 or whatever, story 3 I'll call it. It's Digimon 02, Touchdown Hurricane, Supreme Digivolution of the Golden Digimentals or something.
Yeah.
I think that's like, look up Touchdown Hurricane, you'll be able to find it. Actually, just look up Digimon movie, it should pop up pretty clearly. Because this is the one that's a proper movie. Those other two, they don't quite count. Like, our war game kinda counts. This is the first proper Digimon movie. And, like, so, that thing that the dub really likes to talk about? Death? Yeah, that's the main central conflict of this movie. And boy, do they skim over that. So this is gonna be interesting, because, like, I saw the sub, you didn't. This just starts out.
Yeah, so, to be clear, I kind of skipped through bits and pieces and watched a little bit I didn't actually watch the full thing, so my version of this movie is chopped up to bits to the point where I have very little to say about it.
So, like, just sort of starts off. It starts off with, like, effing, like, TK Kari and Mimi, who's just in Japan again for a bit. And there's, like, just hang out, and, like, their Digivice starts going off. There's like, oh, what's up with this? And Mimi disappears. Like, she literally just fades away in, like, this little, like, weird, like, windstorm effect. And there's like, okay, something crazy's going on here. We have to get to the bottom of this crap. And you see, like, all the other Digidestined just, like, just doing their daily lives, and they just disappear one by one. They just sort of, like, wake up, and there's in this weird, dark, like, realm of, like, some kind, where it's like, oh, they're, like, standing in, like, water or something. And it's just, there's, like, nothingness around them, and there's, like, what the heck is going on? And it's like, well, I guess the next generation has to, like, take care of this crap, because we can't.
It's the Dark Ocean? No.
No. Oh, no. Well, maybe. I have no idea what the heck is, like, the force behind this, because it's just something eldritch that is never explained.
Yeah, it's not the Dark Ocean. I'm just joking.
Yeah. But yeah, so, like, Kari's just throughout the sub is just like, I hear a Digimon crying, there's a Digimon pain somewhere, I can feel it. But, like, I don't know what's going on.
Which is on point. Kari's constantly, like, hearing voices and being called to dark oceans. And
so that's cut out from the dub, obviously. As is this entire subplot of, like, the original Tamers going missing.
Actually, a little bit of the dub I watched, Kari does mention hearing something bad that's coming or something.
Yeah, she hears something bad coming, but she doesn't hear it crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of a different context, I feel like. Yeah, so, like, Wendigomon's this thing's name, just sort of shows up.
What do you mean? It's called Cocomon.
So, actually, like, this makes a lot more sense in the sub. Because in the sub, Willis, or as he's called in the sub, Wallace.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know why Wallace they changed the name.
Wallace has nicknames for both of his Digimon. Like, he calls Terriermon Gummymon, and, like, the other one's Cocomon.
Why? But that's not... Okay.
Yeah, those are just, like, his names for them, because they're his pets.
Okay, so when they translated... Okay, I'm going to assume that Lopmon is never called Lopmon.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they translated, like, the version of the nickname for, like, the one that's going rogue, but not the one for Terriermon.
Alright. Well, I'm glad that Terriermon over here didn't become known as Gummymon.
Yeah.
Well, I say that like Lopmon became known as Cocomon over here.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, most people do understand Wendigomon as Cocomon because of that, because that's what they call him, and why would you think otherwise?
I don't think I knew that it was actually Wendigomon until a while after seeing that movie.
So yeah, he's just sort of like, shows up, and it's like this weird moment where it's like, Willis is just like, hey, what's wrong? And he's like, kind of like bubbling something out, like going back, and he's like, yeah, you recognize me, right? And he's like reaching out, and Terriermon just attacks him, and he freaks out and starts fighting. And, like, they kind of, like, fight him a little bit, and he just sort of, like, disappears. And in the sub, it's like, it's playing this, like, harmonica, like, Western-sounding music to it. Like, it's very weird and very ambient in a weird way. Very ambient, I guess I should say. But yeah. It's very, like, weirdly, like, sorrowful of, like, an encounter. In the dub, they just play like whatever the heck 90s track. Because of course they do, yeah.
Of course they do.
So it's like, like TK and Kari try to help Willis, and he just runs off, and he's like, he's like, just sort of like, don't want to get them involved because he don't know what's going on. So like, Willis goes to a phone. This is something they completely cut out of the dub for some reason, but it's like, yeah, in the sub, Willis is a big mama's boy.
Okay.
So it's like Willis is constantly going to the phone to like call his mom so she doesn't worry about him. And as he's calling his mom, he says, like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna go like, this location, then I'll like be back. I forget what he said specifically. I think it's like, yeah, I forget what it's actually like, the actual location or something. But yeah, essentially what matters is that like Paimon overhears him. And he just flies back and he's like, okay, we have to gather up the Art Tamers and go to this place. Because something's about to go down. So it's like, then we get the introduction of like, the O2 Tamers. And they're just on the beach chilling out. And like just playing volleyball with like Upamon as the ball for some reason.
Because Yoli loves to abuse her Digimon for some reason.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not Poimon, it's Upamon. It's like Cody's one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
Yoli's actually just chilling out in her like cow print onesie, just sort of like, in her like sunglasses.
One Piece. A onesie is like a thing.
Right, One Piece, yeah. I say words wrong sometimes.
It's fine, it's fine. It's like a One Piece swimsuit. Anyways.
Yeah. So they just like get the message, they're just like, okay, so this is so it's like we have to go to this place, and it's like, alright, let's like check this out, It's like it's implied they're already like vacationing in America or something, so they're just like, alright, we'll just like hitchhike our way over there across the nation. And it's like, even though it's incredibly obvious that they're hitchhiking, the dub makes every effort possible to try to keep you from thinking these kids are hitchhiking. Because
which, to be fair, kids hitchhiking is a bad precedent to set.
It's like hitchhiking is the focal point of this movie because they're doing this big road trip across America to like Willis's hometown, basically, to like get to this flower field that he grew up in. And the entire time, the dub is just like, oh, hey, Yoli's like, I have this cousin, you see, who owns a taxi company, and we can take their ride.
Of course.
Of course. So yeah, they're just, like, traveling along, and, like, we get a bit where it's, like, the dub cuts around this completely, because they remove the entire subplot of, like, people vanishing. But yeah, in the sub, it's like, they're like in a train and they have a bit where they see Wendigomon just like out the window as things get weird for a bit. And like all the passengers disappear and the train just stops. And that's why like TK and Kari are like held up so long. Because, they just look around and it's like, oh crap, the passengers are gone. We have to go on foot for a bit and we'll like find a way to get there later. Just gotta find transportation somehow. So yeah, meanwhile, like, Davis and them all, like, get to, like, this... They're, like, kind of hitchhiking along, and they, like, find... I'm trying to remember how exactly this goes down, because, like, first they try to, like, stow away in the back of a truck, and then they're like, oh, hey, like, there's a kid back here, and it's Willis.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and, like... effing Veemon's like in training form just starts approaching and Davis is like, oh no, don't do that, you're supposed to be a stuffed animal, you idiot. And he's like, no, but that's a Digimon. And they're just like, oh right, Terriermon. They're just like, right, that's not a stuffed animal, it's a real Digimon. So they have this little meetup and like a bit of a connection.
This might be the first appearance of Terriermon.
I'm almost certain it is.
I'm not sure if Tamers had aired at this point.
I'm fairly sure it is, because I think this is like bookending like series 2 or something. Or it's like, it doesn't seem to be at the end of O2 at least, because Ken's not a thing yet.
True. Okay. I don't know. To Google.
to Google.
Yeah, you keep going. I'll just look this
Yeah.
up. I have nothing to say about this, anyways.
But yeah, like, Digimon does do this sometimes. Because, like, Digimon World 3 has, like, I think the first appearance of a Goonimon. Before, like, you know, like, that season was a thing. In, like, Digimon World 3. He's, like, one of the fusions. So yeah, they like, you know, kind of get to know Willis, and they're just like, you know, getting ready to hitchhike with like another guy. And like, this is weird because in the dub, Willis is just like, okay, I've got an idea. And he like grabs a phone line nearby and he orders a pizza. And he's like, oh hey, while you're like delivering it, can you just like, you know, pick us up on the way to our house? And he's like, you know, kind of like, you know, just hangs up the phone, or it's like, oh yeah, that was smart. In the sub, you know, he's just like calling his mom, because of course. And David gives him crap for being a mama's boy. And like, while he's giving him crap, like, everyone else like loads up in a truck and they can't win on him. Like, they just drive off without him. And Yoli's like, yeah, come on, Davis, you know how to get here. And he's like, well, crap, I guess we have to hitchhike our own now.
Okay, so, assuming the sources are listed in order, yes, this movie is the first time Terriermon appears.
Alright, I kind of assume so. Yeah, so we get like somewhere in this time, like, right, forgot to mention is like one big thing, because there's a car ride. And it's like the dub is just sort of like, you know, just some weird redneck guy who's just like, he's just all over the road. And he's like, see a lot, just like the kids are screaming. In the sub, it's so much better. Because this guy is a foreigner.
Oh, man.
And he's just, in like, just super English. He's just like, yeah, Japanese car, very good. He's just all over the road. The kids are freaked out. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, just, can you please, like, you know, calm down? He's like, Japanese made, super awesome. It's so good. If nothing else, look up that scene of like the guy just like effing going nuts with the car, just shouting English, and there's like, yeah, that's cool, man. But yeah, so like, basically like Wilson and Davis are left alone, and then like Wendigomon just shows up out of nowhere with like this weird wind effect again. And we get, like, you know, like, right before he shows up, we get a bit of a scene where, like, you know, Willis is just like, hey, Terriermon, you attacked Wendigomon last time, or, like, Kokomon, I should say. And he's like, hey, don't attack him, you're brothers, I don't want you two to be fighting. And Terriermon's like, no, but I sensed he was, like, going to hurt you. You know, and Terriermon's like, I can feel that, like, you know, he's violent. Like, he wants to attack because he doesn't understand anything. So we, like, get the second encounter with Wendigomon because he shows up. You know, and, like, Willis is trying to, like, talk things out. And, like, you know, Wendigomon's like, you know, he's like, who are you? And Willis is like, I'm Willis, right? He's like, I have to find Willis. So it's like the implication is very directly that like Wendigomon doesn't recognize his own tamer anymore. Cause like Willis is just like, he's grown up and he's just so far gone at this point. You know, and Willis just doesn't want to fight him, but like Terriermon just digivolves to protect his tamer, to like, you know, help him out. And you know, Flamedramon just, and like, you know, friggin' Gargamon like fight Wendigomon. And, like, they have a pretty cool battle, honestly. And for
Gargamon in the dub sounds like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. For some weird reason, like, the dub cut things in a way where it's like, you know, they added, like, a scene from later of, like, just random slapstick hijinks. where it's like a bit where it's like Terriermon's like flying Veemon around, and like the dub changed it so Terriermon's like, okay, I'll like fly you around and you attack, and like they crash into his sign like in the middle of the fight. And you
Amazing.
see like Veemon digivolves from the impact, and there's like, oh, that was a bad idea. And there's like, okay, let's try this again, and they like, digivolve to Flamedramon, so it's super inconsistent looking. Cause like that scene's meant to happen after the battle, is like Veemon and Terriermon are like screwing around while they're just waiting for a ride.
Amazing.
So like they fought off Wendigomon, he just sort of like disappears again. And we get like another scene with like, we get a couple of these with like the original Tamers and like the Dark Void of some kind. As they're like aging backwards to like their child forms, like the people are. And they're just like super confused as this is happening. They're just like, yeah, I think we're inside someone's heart right now. But like it feels very like cold and distant, like this isn't right, basically. And you see like a projection of Wendigomon as he like just kind of goes and he searches around, and he's basically like de-aging the Tamers and stuff to try and find the original Willis. So like looks around and he's like, okay, none of these kids are him, and he gets really angry and then just leaves.
Yeah, that's something I saw in the wiki is like, oh yeah, Wendigomon can warp time and space, and it's like he's champion level.
Yeah. It's like, in the dub, he's like doing this crap at like Megalol, but it's like, yeah, in the sub, he's like, warping it as like a champion.
Yeah.
Because he's possessed by something, it seems. Like something way more powerful than he is. So he's like, just sort of vanishes and like, Veemon, Terriermon goof around a bit. It's honestly pointless. Like, it's just there for the sake of it to like, just kind of justify them laying around and stuff, as Willis is just sort of like, kind of explaining the situation a little bit.
Right.
He's just sort of like, yeah, essentially Willis just has like this mindset on the sub where he's like, okay, my Digimon got possessed by something back in that sunflower field all those years ago. So if I manage to go back to that spot, I think maybe it'll fix him. And, it's just this desperate, just like, hope based on nothing that he has. That, like, okay, maybe if we just recreate the situation, everything will be fine. Maybe we could just go back and fix everything.
Yeah, in the dub, Kokomon keeps saying, go back to the beginning.
Yeah, he does say that, like, a bit in the sub, too. Like, go back, basically. Not to the beginning, but go back.
Yeah.
So it's like, like, Davis is like, okay, we'll, like, just shoot off then. He's like, we're not gonna get a ride because the road is destroyed. So we have to, like, find our solution. So he just digivolves Veemon into Rydramon, and they just ride off together.
Wow, maybe they should have just done that from the beginning.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like, I assume that form isn't available any longer, so maybe not the best idea, but it's the only idea they have right now. So it's like they rush off and get a bit of, it's like, the kids are just watching them roll along and stuff, and it's like playing breakup, And like, Willis is just like, wow, dude, your Digimon's so great, it has like so many cool forms. But yeah, so like, they kind of like meet back up at the flower field, basically. Like, no, before that, they have this little meeting where they have like spend the night for a bit, right? Because they sleep outside, and there we get like the dumbest dub like effing conversation ever. Because in the sub, this is like, strip like, alright, in the sub, like, Willis is like confiding in Davis about his problems, and Willis is just like, alright, listen, he's like, my Digimon's kind of like going crazy, and if I don't fix this, I might have to kill my own partner. And Davis is just like, just breaks down thinking about like what he'd do if, he had to kill Veemon. And Willis is just like, hey, I'm the one with the problem. How'd I end up like, like consoling you on like my problem? And Davis is like, yeah, you're right. He's like, don't worry. He's like, now you put it like this, I'm sure it'll go back to normal as soon as we get to that flower field. He's like, I'm sure things are gonna work out all right. And Melissa's like, yeah, you mean? He's like, yeah, we're gonna like fix things once and for all. So the Dubs version of this is that, yeah, of course they removed the entire plot about this being like, the like moral issue of killing your Digimon partner. So instead, Willis has this big thing where he's like, oh yeah, like, when I was a kid, like, I tried to create my own Digimon, and then, like, it basically ended up becoming a virus, and it, like, infected, like, the net, and it became Diaboromon, but then, like, after it's defeated, I was so glad. And we see the shot of him in, like, the Field of Flowers again, which makes no sense at all given the time frame. Because this is, like, 4 years...
should be...
Yeah.
Willis should be about the same age.
Like, 5 years after Willis, like, was skipping through that Field of Flowers as a toddler. He was still skipping through that Field of Flowers as a toddler, while, like, the Diaboromon incident was going down according to the dub. He's just, like, he's still in that field, man. And he just grew up really fast over the last 4 years. That's literally where they're trying to go with this. Because, like, the sub is like, okay, yeah, I got, my Digimon, like, around the, like, time frame that, like, all these other kids in the world... It's, like, around the time frame of, like, the end of Season 1, basically. So it's, like, in the sub, this makes sense. Wait, no. Alright, never mind. Alright, sorry, I'm getting it backwards a bit. So it's, like, in the sub, he, like, gets it, like, way back when, like, the, like, original kids are getting him, it seems.
Yeah.
So it's, like, that's why when they, like, turn all the kids back to, like, babies and stuff, like, they're that age. Because, like, in the second movie, you see Yoli helping them out with, like, Diaboromon, like, in the background. She's one of the people sending emails.
Yeah, it cuts to her a few times.
Yeah, in the dub, it's like, that is when, like, effing, like, Willis was a toddler skipping around. And, like, effing Kokomon gets infected by, like, whatever phantom virus or whatever the crap this is. So it's like, that's why they're brought back to that time. Because, like, yeah, that's when he got, like, the Digimon infected, and that's the last time Kokomon saw him. So hopefully this is, like, making sense to people, because I know I'm doing a bad job of, like, explaining this.
It's fine. It's time, whatever. It's goofy. It's crazy.
But yeah, so Dub has, like, Melissa's like, oh yeah, my Digimon got infected with a virus, so I have to, like, find a way to help them now. And Davis immediately breaks down. He's like, that's the saddest story I've ever heard. And Willis is just like, hey, get over it. And Davis is just like, okay, and he's suddenly better.
Yeah, that entire scene is just murdered.
I kid you not, that's the exact pacing of the dub. He's just crying and Willis is like, go over. He's just like, okay, yeah. It's so weird. But yeah, so essentially Deus reassures him and stuff. So they go to the flower field, basically. And, like, this is where things get freaking nuts. So, jeez, where do I even, like, begin with this?
I don't know. How long is this thing going? We're at like 2 hours something, yeah. So we should probably try to...
It's fine, we're talking about a movie.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot to go over with this. But yeah, basically it's like... effing... They get to the flower field. And that's when, like, they find Wendigomon, and, like, he's doing this weird effing, like, back and forth shimmy dance, and he's just chanting, like, go back, and you hear in, like, two voices, and one's, like, the Wendigomon voice, and one's, like, the voice of his, like, in training form or something.
Probably Lotmon.
Yeah, but he's, like, well, no, it's, like, in training, so it's, like, one before that.
Yeah, okay.
It's, like, implied he's just locked up in there this entire time like that somehow. And he's, like, just completely lost it. He's just, like, swinging his arms back and forth. He's like, no, go back. And Willis is like, no, like, we can't go back. We have to start from here, you know? And he's like, we can't change what's happened. We have to, like, just start with what we have right now. And he's like, no, he's like, come here. He's like, come here. And Willis is just, like, sitting there. He's just like, I can't come with you. And he's like, this ain't right. There's something wrong with you. And it's, like, the moment where it's, like, he finally realizes that, like, like, pretty much everything he knew of his original Digimon is basically gone now. And you see, like, Wendigomon's just, like, just starts freaking out because he realizes, like, he has nothing left, and he just digivolves into Antilamon, and that's where things get kinda nutty. It's like, of course, all the, like, effing, like, the Digidestin, like, armored Digivolve to fight Antilamon, because it's like, it's clear this is not the same Digimon. This is something, like, evil that means to do them harm.
Yeah, on the wiki, there's actually two listings of Antilamon, and one of them is Evil Antilamon, and that's what this is.
Yeah, this is Antilamon without the little, like, mark on the front of its chest, or, like, the little, like, cloth around its neck. It's like,
Also, Antilamon makes a really good design for an evil Digimon.
Yes.
It's all lanky and weird and creepy looking.
Oh, Antilamon's so good in this, like, especially in the sub. So, like, I want you to stay quiet for a sec, because I'm gonna, like, play, like, a bit of a scene here, so I want people to understand, like, what the music choice was for this battle. So I have this, like, queued up. Okay, so hopefully people can hear this. I just gotta, like, let this play for a bit. So it's like, this is the sub, Antilamon Digivolves. This is what plays. Like, it's so creepy sounding and just weird. It's this weird, like, just cold jazz. It's just, like, it's just warping around. It's too much for it. And it's just, like, it's toying with them. Like, they specifically mention, it's like, oh, Antilamon's toying with us. It's, like, clawing across the walls and stuff. And it's like, it's this it's like something out of a nightmare. It's so, like, weird and, like, just crazy. Alright. So, and they finally, like, pin him down a little bit. They finally, like, kind of catch up with him. And he's just sitting there, and it's just dead quiet. And he just sinks into the lake. Alright. So this is the sub right now. It's so ambient and just nutty. In a second, it's gonna play what the dub is. Alright, so you ready for this crap? Alright, this is how the dub approached that scene. This is the tone the dub went with. This is what they did.
They used the song for when they fought Diaboromon.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. You were a bit loud for a sec.
I said they used the song that they used when they fought Diaboromon.
Yeah. So, like, that's probably live right now, that comparison video that's put up on the main channel. So if anyone wants to check that out, yeah, I'm going to be linking that in the description for sure, because I added that together, because I had to let people know just how nuts this contrast was right now. Because that is, like, holy crap. And that music's going, that's, like, the tone of this fight. Just that creepy, weird, cold jazz sound. As he's just like, just flying around. He like, one point, like, they rush at him and he just bashes their heads together and throws them, which was cut from the dub. So now you see him like waving his arms and they just go flying for some reason. Like, it's such a different scene. It's insane. Like, you see Antilmon just crawling across the walls and he's like, leaving like after images behind as like Gargamon's trying to shoot him. Because he's just too fast.
Yeah, because they're dealing with an ultimate.
Yeah. And it's just like, just so crazy. And you see Antilmon just sink down into the water. And there's like, okay, did we get him? Like, did he run away? Like, what's happening?
I saw that little bit in the parts I skipped around in. And they're like, hey, we did it. We beat him. And it's like, really?
Yeah. In the sub, they're just freaking out because they're just like, okay, this can't be the end of this. There's something up. And they feel the world change. And you see, like, Antilmon just dips into the water. And you see, like, the colors, like, reverse in the environment. Is like, they've, like, basically destroyed the flower field. Like, I forgot to mention earlier, it's like, when, like, Wendigomon, like, digivolves, you see, like, a bit of him before, and it just sort of fades away, and you see a flower just fly off, and it just, disintegrates. And it's like, this is all kind of getting across the idea. It's like, the old times are gone. Everything you knew about this Digimon is done. It's dead. Like, this is all that's left. Just this, like, destroyed, cold, like, just crazy, like, reality. Is like, the environment's just like changed and now we're just fighting on this lake for the rest of this movie. Like, even the flower field is just gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Cause, like, yeah, those times are over. And you just see, like, effing, like, Antilmon's megaform, Cherubimon, just sort of come out of the lake, like, hand first, like, reaching for the sky. Because it's a fallen angel Digimon, basically.
Yeah, specifically anybody who already knows Digimon, it's the evil Cherubimon. Because
Yeah.
of course it is.
Because of course. Yeah, no, if it was good Cherubimon, that'd be wild.
That'd be weird.
But yeah. So, like, he just shows up. And immediately everyone's just like, oh crap, the world just changed around us. Like, what is this place? This place feels cold and, like, deserted. Like, this feels twisted and wrong. Like, there's something going on here. And, like, no one really knows what's happening, but they just know that, like, this place feels wrong. Like, Cherubimon just sort of proceeds to just, like, just really just toy with them like no one's ever been toyed with before.
He's juggling them.
Yeah. Some parts, like, in the dub, he's, like, making monster noises, and he's, like, growling and stuff. In the sub, no, he's just silent. Like, he is just menacingly just watching over them, just, using his powers to just, like, throw them around at his leisure, just doing whatever. Like, he doesn't give less of a crap.
Yeah, in the dub, it's making silly cartoon sound effects.
Yeah. Like, when this thing shows up in the dub, it's playing, like, the generic theme they play where they fight, like, any bad Digimon that's doing, like, menacing things. Like, it's just straight from the show. In the sub, yeah, that jazzy piano theme is, like, just going on. And it's going with variations and stuff. And it's just such this weird, creepy atmosphere to this. Like, the subversion of this movie is weirdly psychological feeling in a weird sense, if that makes sense. Like, it's like you're just watching someone's just crazy, like, like, nightmare, just sort of, like, just sort of going along. Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, man. Like, if anyone takes anything out of this entire thing, it's like, no, watch the third, like, story of this, like, sub to, like, Digimon 02, like, Hurricane Touchdown. 'Cause, yeah, this is nuts. It's just like, they're trying to find him, and he's just not even caring. He's just, he's just casually spitting out these little, like, black balls, and they're just, like, de-digivolving and digivolving things back. They're just, like, screwing with time. Like, he's juggling them, he's just throwing them around. Like, it's to a point where it's like, playing this weird, like, it's just this weird track that's going on of, like, just this hopeless despair, as, like, all the heroes are just reduced down to, like, children, down to, like, the age Willis was back then, and they're all just doing everything they can to fight this thing that's just way more powerful than them, and, like, you can just tell that, like, all their efforts are meaningless. Like, the best they can do is they knock over for a second and then immediately, like, gets back up and just smiles at them. And it's like, that's when it's like, apparently it's like TK and Kari at some point in 02 or somewhere gain the ability to, like, just turn their Digimon to Mega. So they're just like, okay, we have to do this. This is the only way. So they, like, go for it, and they, like, evolve Patamon and, like, Gaomon into, like, Serapimon and, like, Magnadramon. So they just, like, show up, and they're, like, shooting, like, energy blasts and stuff. Or, wait, no, for that, they're finding them at champion level and ultimate level. So they have the angels out just doing their thing. They, like, blow off, like, Trubimon's arm, and it just sort of, like, comes back on. He doesn't feel it, Like, he's not even really fazed by them dismembering him. He's just so above everyone else. Like, he's just smiling up the entire... He doesn't give a damn. And it's like, alright, we have to use our megaforms. We have to take this thing down. And they, like, they evolve to Mega, and they're able to, like, summon back the golden Digimentals or something. And it's like, okay, the only way to beat this thing is for, like, Vmon and, like, effing, like, Terriermon to, like, go golden, basically. Gotta, like, use the Digi-armor of, like, golden Digimentals.
Or Digi-eggs, if you're familiar with the English dub.
So, yeah, it's like, before I do that, it's like, you get a scene of, like, all the kids just, just flailing around, like, like, Cody's just crying, like, Yoli's trying to, like, patch up Hawkmons in training form. Like, everyone's just sad. Like, it's just sad kids everywhere, just putting up the most desperate fight they ever can. And they, like, just digivolve their things, and they're just like, okay, we have the gold forms. Now maybe we can stand some chance. And, like, Trubimon takes the gold forms, and he just eats them. And he just sort of looks at them, and they're just like, oh, well, fuck. There's like, we just have to keep fighting, because there's nothing else we can do at this point. Like, this whole story is just the build-up of Willis being like, no, I have to let my Digimon fight. And not they're there, he's like, well, crap, I can't even. So it's like, their Digimon, like, Digivolve and stuff like that, and they go inside him. This is where things, like, differentiate quite a bit, because, like, the dub has this weird line, where it's, like, this weird logic, where it's, like, they see, like, Wendigomon side, like, Cherubimon, like, the phantom version of himself, and he's, like, motioning as, like, throw, he's, like, just pointing to himself. And they're just like, oh, hey, the dub is just like, he's trying to tell us something. Oh, he wants us to heal the virus. They're just like, yeah, go back to a gang meant to go back before he was infected by the virus. We have to heal him, guys. And then this big moment where it's like, Magnadramon shouts out, it's time to heal. And they, like, just open fire to destroy the virus. But it's like, the wounds from Bal were too much. And, like, unfortunately, Trubimon, he was healed and then he passed away from his injuries. It's such a trash. In the sub, there's like no. They see like the like phantom version of like Wendigomon just pulling at himself, and there's like we have to stay resolute. We have to kill him. And they're just like we have to kill like the past version of like Wendigomon so we can like keep Cherubimon from happening. Basically,
gotta put him down.
Yeah, and they just murder him. And, like, as he dies, for 1 second, like, he turns good for a bit, and you see him smiling. And Willis, like, makes a note of, like, like, Kokomon was always such a crybaby. I'm just glad I got to see him smile one last time in the end. Like, I'm glad I got to see him genuinely happy just one time in his life.
Yeah.
It's such a different, like, feel. It's, like, it's so nuts. And I'm actually, like, just friggin' ticked that they changed it like this. Cause
nobody died. I can see the parachutes deploying.
It's such a butcher hack job. Like, just watch this movie, then watch the dub version, and you will be angry. Just no, do it. Do it, you cowards. But yeah. So, like, holy crap. So it's like, this subversion just ends off, and, Will's just sort of like, he kisses, like, both Yoli and Kari on the cheek, and he's like, alright, later! And they're blushing, Davis is all angry and stuff. And, like, he eventually does get, like, a do, because he gets a Digi-Egg. And it's, like, this last little sign of hope that it's like, okay, like, maybe he has a new chance to raise Kokomon right this time and, like, do good. In the dub... Oh boy, in the dub.
He comes back dancing to All-Star.
It's like, you have narration, it's like, kids Digimon are digital, they all just come back anyways, but sometimes they come back singing a different tune, and that tune is All-Star. And, like, they took the scene of, like, Wendigomon doing that weird shimmy while going, like, go back all creepy-like, and they, like, color corrected it to daytime. So they could just shove it in as, like, a goofy monkey dance. And Willis is just sitting there looking all concerned like he's tone deaf. And he's, like, just singing along and everything's happy now in this form that's very much not meant to imply something horribly wrong is happening. And you see a close-up of him just bobbing back and forth, and he has no pupils. Because that shot is lifted from, like, just the scene where it's like, you see, like, when he's all gone, his pupils, like, dilated to nothing. They, like, just contract into nothing, I mean.
Yeah.
And that's how you, like, know there's nothing left of him there. Because, like, it's so much more evil and violent looking. So, yeah, you see him sing, and he has, like, no pupils because they just didn't think. Just no one thought on this one. And it just, plays out to All-Star, and you get the credits to Kids of America. And I distinctly remember, like, owning the VHS. There's a tacked-on extra scene where it's just this super crappily animated, like, thing of, like, these, like, cardboard cutout, whatever the crap, like, singers of a band, and they sing Kids of America. It's a music video. Just, oh my gosh.
Another good song in a completely inappropriate place.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Just look at the silly monkey dance. Everyone is fine in the end. Just look at the silly monkey dance, guys. It's all good. So just... I don't know if I have any more thoughts on this. Like, you have any final thoughts?
I can't have many thoughts about something I barely was able to watch. I'm gonna. I don't think I've elaborated why I only skipped around it, and it's because I waited way too long to actually watch the movie. So it's
Yeah.
completely my fault.
Yeah.
But from everything I've heard and everything I already know, yeah, the sub's better.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, that's Digimon the movie. Just they butchered the plot, sort of tied everything into Willis. And if you're watching the dub, then the final act makes no sense at all.
Yeah, one and two are okay. Three's a train wreck.
Just gotta like, gotta like bring everyone back to the states they were 4 years ago. Back when like Yoli was like clearly not a toddler, but everyone's babies for some reason. Fantastic. Like that's all I could say is they just didn't care.
Nope, they saw an opportunity to cash in and they went for it.
So yeah,
Which is stupid because they could have sold the three things separate and probably made more money.
Yeah, like I was thinking of this earlier, cause like, yeah, I was thinking it's like okay, release the like first one as like a special edition or something, like special feature, right?
We'll
like,
include it in like release Digimon's Adventure Season 1 and have it as a bonus on the DVD.
Yeah, just like like oh hey, first like the Myolis Monarch featuring like special never before seen like short like episode of like the origin of the Digidestin. You could have done that. People have loved it.
Yeah, around the time that they learn about the heightened view terrace thing.
Yeah,
like,
and you could have like shoved the second, third films together, like the second, third stories together, had them actually be accurate to like some extent at least. Like, of course, this stuff is not complete, but it's like have them be somewhat accurate and just make it a double feature.
Nah, because 2 and 3 don't really go together.
They sure don't.
So what you would do?
You don't have to tie them together either. Just like be like 2-for-1 movie deal. There you go.
So this is back with the VHS
times,
days, I guess.
Yeah.
So DVD bonuses don't really work, huh?
Nah, but yeah, just shoved it on the tape and it'd be fine. Heck, you could have like shoved 2 and 3 together like as a double feature in like theaters or something. It'd probably be okay-ish. Yeah. And like there's ways around this, I feel like.
And you just include our war game at the end of the series.
Yeah.
And then for 2, you just add it in at a point, maybe after Willis has been mentioned in the series, and then it's like, okay, here's what's up with this guy.
Yeah, honestly, if our war game was a standalone thing, then like that'd be awesome. Our war game is great.
Hey, watch Summer Wars.
Yeah. It's like that's just such a good self-contained, like just start to finish, it's like the time's ticking down. And it's so like just well wrapped up and just it's just such a good thing, It's just like nah, it's all about Willis, I guess. That's what frustrates me the most about this, because like even as like a re-edit, like as a just repackaging of all this stuff, trying to just Frankenstein things together.
They shoehorned in the Willis stuff.
Yeah, even as like a shoehorn product, like continuity does not work because they fucked it up. And like even as that, everything is pushing towards this final story that they butchered the most. So everything's building up to a shit payoff where everything just kind of happens for no reason at all.
So I don't know how well it's aged at this point, and maybe people don't like the guy. So there's a Nostalgia Critic review of the Digimon movie.
So I watched that in preparation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Doug has no nostalgia for Digimon. He knows nothing about it. So Of course, he plays things up as the critic and whatnot,
Yeah.
but
I want to prop that episode is like a crossover between him and like Jesse Otaku. Like the
yeah,
entire time, you can very clearly tell when he's just shoving in jokes, kind of like at her expense, just because he wanted to write like a comedic thing and he didn't want to like take the fall or whatever. And it's like they're just
yeah,
bits where it's like, oh hey, let's just shit on like the fan base for like caring about Kari and like Tai.
yeah. Like I said, it might not have aged all that well, and it might be hard to watch. But it's
The
just something
review
I
of the
remember.
movie.
The both. No, but for real, it's just as someone who has like Doug has no ties to Digimon at all, so I
No
don't know,
pun intended.
It might be an interesting watch.
Yeah. He's just sitting there, it's like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, I don't have any connection to these characters or these forms. Who are these O2 kids? What,
Yeah.
like, why should I care about these people when they have no connection to the rest of the thing?
And he's right.
Yeah.
If you have no idea who the Adventure 02 kids are, why would you care?
Man. Like, I know it's like a nostalgia critic episode. That episode's kind of like frustrating now too, looking back. Because it's like Jessie Otaku saw the sum of all these things. She knows all this deep lore. She, like, everything we've been talking about as far as like changes in like the third movie, she is aware of that. Because it's a
Yeah.
nostalgia critic episode, can't go into detail. Gotta like keep it from Doug's perspective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on his channel, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that
I don't
could
know,
have been a way better video if they just let her like go into detail about the changes that were made. Cause holy crap, does that change a lot?
Doesn't she explain some things? It's
Yeah,
not
she
enough,
she explains that it's like 3 different like movies basically that they kind of stitched together and stuff like that. And she explains like the basics.
but yeah, yeah.
Like
Just,
I'll make
like,
clear like I'm not giving any crap to her at all like in any way
Yeah.
over that. That was all like
she he probably wrote the script and she just had to go with it.
Yeah, she probably corrected on like some stuff, but she just couldn't really like it's Doug's perspective at the end of the day, so they just had to go with that.
Yeah. So yeah, just
Yeah.
all I can say is maybe it's aged badly and it isn't very. I haven't watched it in forever, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something that I can't help but think of.
Yeah. Like the dub versions work way better as individual stories if you approach them from that direction. Because boy, are they not a continuous narrative.
Yeah.
So yeah. Alright, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Alright, well, hope people enjoyed where the heck all this was. Links to
Extra long podcast.
This extra long April Fool's prank / like actual review of the Digimon movie.
He wanted us to go off on tangents like crazy.
Yeah.
On the Angela Anaconda thing, and I was just like, I hate prank stuff on April Fool's Day. I don't want to do
It
that.
could have been so good if we just never talked about the movie. And then I watched the sub, and it was like, I was gonna like do it anyways, because of course, like we kind of gotta. But it's like after watching it, it's like, no, we need to talk about this crap. Like there's no way I could, like, yeah.
You never would have got me to 2 hours if we were just going almost 3 hours if we were just sitting here going on about Angela Anaconda. I would have ducked out.
So the original idea was to go about Angela Anaconda, and then it's like, yeah, maybe we should talk about the movie. And I go to Yui Cameo Cuts Loose, which is a series you will now never hear me talk about ever. Because, like, no one cares about that franchise.
I have no idea what that is.
I was prepared to talk Chargemon Ken, mother effer. Like, there's an episode of Chargeman Ken called Dynamite in the Brain, where he just, like, the professor dies, And Chargeman Ken just shows up to a peace conference where, like, the professor's there. He's like, watch out, he's a shape-shifting alien. And he's like, wait, he has a reflection, so he's not an alien. And he just listens, and he's like, the professor is a robot, and he has a bomb in his head that's about to go off. It is literally dynamite in the brain. And it just cuts to him like in his flying car. And he's like, sorry, Professor, but like the real you died and you're a robot duplicate with a like a time bomb in your head. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. And he just hits a button and the passenger seat just like opens up with like a trap door. And he just falls out just like, wait, what? And the professor just crashes into an alien ship and blows it up. And he just dies. Just a sentient robot version that has no idea what's going on. It's just instantly just heroic music, just like, I'm sorry, but yo, you're the real you died and you're a robot human and you're about to explode. Just hits the button, just falls through the ship.
Good night, everybody.
Late.